Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and we are live. It's Monday. I think we finally made it. It is finally draft week. It is hard to believe that on Thursday we will finally know, will the Raiders have Jayden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr.? Will the Raiders decide, I don't know, they still don't have a quarterback getting ready to go on Friday. All I know is this, I'm going to be live today. I'm going to be live tomorrow. Chugs and I, nothing's changed there. Then Thursday, we're getting the party started here. So if you're like me, if you're at this point just ready for the NFL draft, don't get me wrong, I love talking about rumors. I do it every single day around this football team. I love being able to hang out with the nation, but there comes a point in time where I'm just like, dude, I'm done with it. Let's just get the NFL draft going. So coming up here live on today's show, what I wanted to do, since not that there's not like new information out there on the Raiders, but I did kind of want to take like a deep dive into what Adam Schefter reported around like 10 different NFL teams, because I thought that all 10 of these teams in some way or another are going to impact the silver and black on Thursday. So we're going to kind of go through a bunch of these different rumors, stories on our first segment. Then my next segment is around a trade-up where I figure out a way to move up and go get Jayden Daniels. If you didn't see the report that is literally came out about 2 hours ago, the Patriots have been fielding calls for that number 3 pick that is from Diana Rossini. Then, if you didn't see the rumor around Tom Brady potentially returning to the NFL, Brady mentioned teams like the Niners, the Raiders, the Patriots, posted a video of him working out. One of my things that I got to do here is, if a lot of Raider fans ask me about a certain question, and it's actually the live poll right now, which is, out of the 3 quarterbacks, who's the worst? Tom Brady, Aiden O'Connell, or Gardner Minshew? But I don't want you to think about it as all time, right? Because all time, let's be real, I'm talking right now. You got to win a football game right now. Who are you taking, or who are you not taking on that list? Please go. Don't be shy. Get those votes. And I already saw a few people were like, man, I feel bad for voting for Aiden O'Connell. If that's where your vote is, you shouldn't feel bad about it. I want you to say it with your chest. So what I want to know right now from the 516 people that are tuned in watching, if you haven't already, make sure you click that like button. How many quarterbacks will be drafted in the top 10 of the 2024 NFL draft? I mean, we've heard a lot of speculation, which Caleb Williams is going to be number 1, right? No doubt about it. Jaden, I believe, is going to be another. Drake May, I believe, is going to be another. Is J.J. McCarthy? Is Bo Nix? Is Michael Penix Jr. going to be drafted in the top 10? Because all of those conversations, all of those discussions are going to be able to impact, and they do impact, what AP and Telesco are able to do if they want to trade up for a quarterback. Because one of the things that Telesco said today during his press conference was, we have a plan in place, and we will be ready to go if the Raiders do need to trade up and go get a quarterback here. Very, very interesting. Juan Hernandez says 6. Martin Gonzalez, what's up, my man's also going to go 6. Steve says 4. CJ says 3. Gatlin Gunn's going to go with a 5. I see Yoda Jenkins types 4. For me personally, I am going to vote 4 quarterbacks end up going in the top 10. The other one that I'm a little bit of a mixed bag on, I think it's going to be J.J. McCarthy. However, it also wouldn't surprise me if somebody wanted to take a chance on Michael Penix Jr., because if it was up to me, who would I rather have, McCarthy or Penix? I'd actually rather roll with Michael Penix Jr. If you guys want to welcome in my guy, Jeremy Chugs, he's looking, I don't even know. This is an outfit here. This reminds me, I was going to say it's like a Charger blue, but that's not off to a good start. Like the spots kind of looks like a blue strawberry from my standpoint. Boysenberry. I don't even know. Is that a berry? I'm not sure.
We can't all wear jerseys backwards every day. So.
Believe me, the other day I was talking to one of Alex's friends, and they were like, yeah, I thought I saw a picture of you on social media with your jersey backwards. And I'm like, I wonder if people who like don't know what I do just see all these pictures of me with the jerseys backwards. They're like, this guy's a lunatic, which maybe is true to some degree, but it is what it is, man. To the 618 people here, how many quarterbacks will be drafted in the top 10? What do you think? I mean, I said personally 5 or 4, definitely 4, maybe 5. Some people are saying 6. How much are you betting on right now?
Oof.
Quarterbacks in the top 10.
I mean, the most I would say is 5, right? It's the top 3. It would be.
Yep. Top 3.
Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jayden Daniels.
Yep.
Think JJ goes top 10.
Yep.
And then it's just if somebody reaches for Penix.
What about Bo? Do you think somebody takes a shot on Bo Nix?
No
way.
chance.
No chance? Well,
the Raiders are getting him at 13.
Oh,
no way
God.
he goes top 10.
You can't do that to me.
What?
If Bo Nix goes 13 to the Raiders, we're going to need a new host here on the Raiders Report because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
You'll be able to do it.
Dude,
Just like all of our viewers will be able to get $20 off whenever they go to Game Time and use the code CHATSPORTS. $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But just like you can continue on and go with Bo Nix, they can continue on and get great deals with our sponsor over at Game Time.
At first, I forgot that we had this, and then I saw the transition. I was like, all right, you know what? We've definitely had worse on the Raiders board. And I don't know, maybe you've had a worse gaming experience or viewing experience. Maybe you've had a bad run-in with some other ticket providers. It's not going to happen with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, theater events near you with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Obviously, terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I was looking for ticket prices, actually, for the Vegas Golden Knights game.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be, obviously, they're going up against Dallas. For those that do not know, Jugs and I live in the Dallas area.
Well, and the best part of it is, if you're going to a new city or if you're visiting a new city, kind of like Zach Wilson's going to a new city, he can download the Game Time app, switch his city from New York to Denver, and see what hot moms in Denver are doing around that area.
Say, I know what he's going to be searching for. I don't know if they have that on Game Time. That might be a different app.
You never know until you go check the Game Time app and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off.
Were you surprised that Zach Wilson was traded to the Denver Broncos? Because I do think it was actually one of the teams that we spoke about here on this show. And what's, kind of crazy, we kind of threw out an idea, if you remember on Friday, of the Raiders trading Aiden O'Connell to the New York Jets once Zach Wilson gets traded away.
I was about to bring that up. But while we're discussing this, one-word reaction to Wilson being traded to the Broncos. Let me know what you think down below. My first one-word reaction was, huh?
I mean, the first thing I said was, do the Broncos just give Zach Wilson number 3 and then they're just like, the jersey sales can continue?
Yeah. I mean, you can reuse your old Wilson jerseys.
There you go. And then you're good to go.
But
you got Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, Ben DiNucci.
Do you think this takes the Broncos out of the running to draft a quarterback this year?
I'm not going to lie. It scares me because I was really, really hoping that this was going to be the team that ends up getting Bo Nix.
So now he'll be there at 13.
He will definitely be there at 13. There's just no way the Raiders are that dumb and they take him at 13. But, what is intriguing to me is Zach Wilson is just as old as Bo Nix, right? You could still draft Nix and have a little bit of a quarterback competition, or the way that I think Denver might roll, maybe this is a tank year. You roll with Zach Wilson for 1 year and try to get a top 3 pick in next year's draft. Because, Wilson is better than Jarrett Stidham, at least. If I'm Sean Payton, I would rather roll the dice and see what I can get with Wilson than Stidham. Because Stidham, to me, I think both are not very good. And then there's Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci's not even in the conversation.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am worried. That's my one-word reaction because I'm worried that the Broncos aren't going to draft Bo Nix.
Why does that worry you?
Because I don't want Bo Nix, and I want Bo Nix.
You think automatically if the Broncos don't draft him, he's a Raider?
No. I just wanted the Broncos to draft him. That way I knew he wasn't going to be a Raider. I'm looking forward to this draft so much, and to me, the number one way that the Raiders can ruin it is by drafting Bo Nix.
What if he's actually good?
On other teams, maybe. If Bo's good, cool, I'll take the L. I will be more than happy to take the L.
Better quarterback this next year, Bo Nix or Aiden O'Connell?
I said Aiden O'Connell. I think Aiden O'Connell would do better in his second year technically in the NFL than what Bo would be as a starter in his first year. And again, to me, it's fit. It's also you got to be able to like, I don't trust Rich Scangarillo. I don't really trust Luke Getsy. And am I going to take a quarterback coach in an OC that right now I don't really have that much confidence in? I mean, let me ask y'all, what is your confidence level 1 to 10 in Luke Getsy and Rich Scangarillo, the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator? I can't imagine it's very high. So I'm not going to combine that with a quarterback prospect that I'm not very confident in, because that to me is a recipe for disaster, where if you're the Raiders, you can't cook up that many recipes right now. Zombie Mitch says 7. Camacho's going to go with a 5. Joe says 0. Raider Sancho, probably not. Miguel 1. Steven 3. Nocturne 5. Jake's going to go with a 7. I would say right now the average is probably 5 to 6 is probably what we're looking at. Got a super chat rolling in here from Raider Wasted, which it kind of looks like Raider Baby Maker. Like, this is what he made. Trade up to number 1 pick in draft Bo.
There you have it.
All right. I'm not even going to entertain that idea. Navman, the best the Broncos can do is go get Zach Wilson. Really, Payton goes up in flames if this is what he sees as potential. Like, I think the way that Sean Payton looks at it is it's a...
Not to disagree with you, Navman, but I mean, they didn't give up anything. They gave up a 6th-round pick swap. So worst case...
Swapped a 6th for a 7th, and you got to pay him $2.75 million.
I mean, the worst case scenario is you don't get a 6th-round pick and Zach Wilson is bad. I mean, honestly, I think it's a good pickup by the Broncos with the quarterback situation they're in, because
I agree.
This might tell me that because we've heard reports, which we'll talk about later on, about multiple teams trying to trade up, and teams in the top 3 are saying no, no. I think maybe the Broncos tested the waters. They're like, how much is it going to cost to trade up? They gave an offer. The other team said no way, and they said, all right, well, then we're not trading up. We're going to look at other options, and one of the options that they're going to have is maybe Zach Wilson. Maybe it's Jarrett Stidham, or maybe it's a guy that they get in the 2nd or 3rd round. Maybe they get like a guy like Rattler. And maybe that's the route that they're going to go in, is bring in 3 guys, maybe some unheralded guys, bring them into camp, and just have we talk about quarterback battles all the time, but it's like if the Raiders trade up to get Jayden Daniels, they probably won't name a starter, but it's not going to be a quarterback battle. Jayden Daniels is going to be the starter.
He's going to be your starting quarterback.
I think in this instance, they'll actually have a quarterback battle where we won't know who's going to be the starter till towards the end of the preseason.
I mean, to be honest, the quarterback battle that this reminds me of is almost the last time the Broncos had one of these battles, and Trevor Siemian ended up coming out on top, where I don't think that Denver is legitimately looking for their franchise quarterback. I think Sean Payton knows that he's got a long leash, and if you're going to take a shot on a young dude, again, Zach Wilson's only 24 years old. Payton probably thinks that he can make the most out of this quarterback prospect that was drafted number 2 overall back in 2021. And if you're not confident in your ability to be able to get a QB there at 12 that you like, well, then you build up your roster, and then you're trying to build up around one of these other quarterbacks. But again, I don't think Zach Wilson's ever going to work out in the NFL.
And Sean Payton's MO has been getting guys kind of casted away from other teams and being able – he's the quarterback fixer-upper. He's the he's the girl that goes to a bar and sees a guy who's kind of trashing and is like, I can fix him.
I'm starting to wonder if Sean Payton is really just the next Josh McDaniels, where is Sean Payton somebody that just had a lot of success with Drew Brees, and now they think like no matter what they do, they're going to go somewhere and they're going to be able to switch it up, they're going to be able to fix it and make Zach Wilson this next quarterback, because Sean Payton without Drew Brees so far has been a little bit of lackluster, right? I mean, I don't think that's that far-fetched thing to say. Again, this might be surprising. When you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, it's going to make you look a lot better. But, like, also a lot of the things that Payton has done, the way that he handled the whole Wilson situation, I get it wasn't really his quarterback, and now he's just stripping down the roster, cleaning house, kind of like what McDaniels did. Could we see this whole Broncos organization go up in flames with Payton? Because I will always say this, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted a young head coach. You can't fall into the trap of, oh, it worked 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stick to that exact same game plan and try to do it again. Like, you got to be able to develop and you got to be able to change, or else people are going to be able to adapt to you.
As weird as it sounds, I feel like some of the coaches with the most success in NFL history had a lot of failure to begin their career. I mean, you look at guys like Bill Belichick, failed at the beginning, was with the Browns, was with other organizations, didn't get there. ended up getting there with the Patriots.
Andy Reid
failed with the Eagles, went to 5 straight NFC. Well, he went to 5 straight NFC championship games,
get it.
0 Super Bowl wins.
Sure.
So that's a failure in my eyes. If you have a team that's good enough to get to the NFC championship game 5 years in a row and you can't get 1 chip.
I mean, I don't know if it's a failure making it the 5 straight. I hear what you're saying.
No, but from what they were looking towards
believe
for
me,
that team.
I grew up in Pennsylvania. All my friends are big Eagle fans, and when they moved on from Andy Reid, there were celebrations. And now I don't love to say that I love to rub it in their face because I wish he would have went anywhere else besides Kansas City. But you ask anybody right now, would you take Andy Reid as your head coach? All 31 NFL teams, I think, say yes.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Speaking of Jayden Daniels.
Will Jaden be a Raider? Give me a yes. Give me a no. This has been a topic of conversation, and once Thursday is done with, it's almost going to be weird that we're not going to be able to talk about it anymore. But we saw some reports last week from Schefter, and Schefter was like, to Commander fans, get your Jayden Daniels jerseys ready. Literally 24 hours later, he's like, Jaden doesn't want to go to the Washington Commanders. Now, today, there's a lot more updates from Schefter around Jaden, around the quarterbacks, around what he's hearing that teams could do starting at pick 1, going all the way down to the back end of round 1 to the Kansas City Chiefs. And we're going to explain a lot of that today. But, the Jayden Daniels to the Raiders confidence bar for me is this.
Double it.
It is a...
Whatever it is right now, double it.
Double it. Which, I don't know, I still don't think it's that far-fetched to say last week. Because, last week it was probably a 10 or 15.
You were like...
Now 30%.
You were saying, dude, with everything going on, how in the world can you say Jayden Daniels is still going to the Commanders?
I don't think he is. I legitimately don't think he is.
Whatever you're saying right now, double it.
Double
it and give it to the next person.
I don't think that he's going to the Commanders. I really don't. I'm not saying that he's going to be a Raider. I'm saying I think the Commanders are going to have to go with somebody else because legitimately I don't think Jaden wants to go there. And then what does that mean at pick number 3? If the Patriots don't get a trade that they like, then they will just take Jaden, a quarterback that they like a lot.
I think Jaden's looking for property in the greater DC area.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
Really?
I really don't think he goes there.
Why?
Because he doesn't want to. If you're the Commanders and you know that the face of your franchise doesn't want to go there, why would you still take him?
Because he's the best player available.
Okay.
And he's going to play there regardless. He's not going to pull an Eli.
I know he's not going to pull an Eli, but there also has to be that part of, don't you want to hire somebody that wants to be a part of what you're building?
I guess. But
if we're interviewing all these chat sports candidates and you're that guy's by far the best, and he looks at you and goes, I don't want to be a part of the chat sports team, you're not going to be like, I think we should hire him. You're not going to do that.
Well, it would be different if we were like, hey, we're going to interview you with 4 other guys and this, and he's like, yeah, this was kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about it. And then he's the best candidate by far. We're not going to be like, we'll take the shitty one because he's got some good spirit.
You don't have to take the shitty one.
Who's better than Jayden Daniels?
I don't think anyone.
Well, then there you go.
But then I could also make the argument of maybe Drake May is that, again, you guys know that I love me some Drake May. I love Drake May. And I can make an argument why Drake May is better than Jaden, and I can make an argument why Jaden's better than Drake May. However, though,
I feel like you're just willing into existence Jaden not going to the Commanders.
I'm not going to say you're totally wrong, but we've also had Adam Schefter literally say that he doesn't think that Jayden Daniels wants to be a part of the Commanders. That's not a speculation. Schefter's just not the type of dude.
That's literally what a speculation is, him thinking that that's going to happen. That's the definition of a speculation.
But if that's what he's hearing...
but that's speculation on what he's hearing. That's not fact.
But Jaden's agent has also come out and shown that he has not been very happy with it, and there's been times where Jaden could put a cap on it.
That's the definition of speculation, is hearing some chatters, some rumors, and then making your own opinion based on that. That's speculating based off what you heard.
Okay, well, then here's the last thing I'll ask. If there's one person in the world of NFL insiders that speculation means more than everybody else's speculation, it's Adam Schefter, is it not?
For the draft, does he know what these teams are doing? I
Nobody
wouldn't say
knows
so.
what the teams are doing, but the fact that Schefter said it to me, that does create, and that just carries a lot more weight than anybody else that says it.
I just don't want to get people's hopes up.
I do want to get people's hopes up. I want Jayden Daniels to be a Raider. That's what I want.
I want Patrick Mahomes to be a Raider.
Shit, yeah, let's run it.
Let's do
You
it.
see the video of of all the Raider fans at that restaurant?
Yeah, while he was on vacation.
Well, and here's my... People were like, Mitch, why don't you share this? Why don't you share this? And I was like, man, he's just trying to have a nice dinner with his wife. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that Raider fans were screaming Raiders. I hope that they weren't doing anything else. But, like, can you imagine you're sitting down at dinner and Patrick Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes walk by? Are you yelling Raiders? Are you yelling Raiders if they walk by at a fancy restaurant?
No chance.
Yeah, I'm not doing it either. Now, if it's in Vegas, yes. If it's on vacation, no. Like vacation, I'm going to let them do their thing. If it's Raiders game day weekend and I see Mahomes out, then yes, I think it totally changes depending on what's happening here. Also, I got this message Chugs and I did over the weekend. I want to say happy 16th birthday to Jack, which I don't know if you realize this. So his older brother, the one that sent us the message, so in the picture here, not me obviously, but Jack, his older brother got Jack the same jersey that Taino got us.
Oh, shit.
So if you look at my jersey, Jack's brother built him a jersey with the same patches and everything that my jersey has.
That's kind of lit.
So if you guys could spam HBD down below. Today's Jack's 16th birthday. He says he watches the Raiders Report a lot. And his big bro did this for him last year, and he asked me again, hey, Mitch, Jack really appreciated it. Can you put it back on the show today? So happy birthday to you, Jack. Appreciate the fact that you're watching the show.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jack. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, man, it just never gets old, man. It never gets old. If you're one of the 1,000 people tuned in right now, make sure you guys type HBD down below to Jack. And honestly, Jack, the fact that your brother not only got you this jersey, sent the DM, that's what family's all about. That guy's a real one right there.
That's a fact.
All right, y'all, today's deals. If you want to get in for a chance to win a Raiders Report jersey, today I'm rocking Raider Dash. $5 super chat, you're in for that raffle. And then if you want to get in for a chance to win some money, $20 Venmo. What? You're laughing at something, so I'm trying to figure out what that is. Duck race. Does the jersey say something? What? I'm confused.
The duck's a gangster.
Oh, that's it. I'm like, what are you laughing at right now?
I found that photo of the duck and I thought it was funny.
And now we're gonna roll with it. Also, remember, we're doing a Zoom call on Wednesday. Join the Friend Zone at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I am going to send out emails after I get done doing today's show. I am also still looking for emails from Trivan, Aaron Winnick, and then the Great Tuna. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because whoever comes in second place and in last place of today's duck race, you are going to be entered in for our Zoom call.
This is a big one.
Yes.
Day before the draft Zoom.
Day before the draft Zoom, which, again, is going to be 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do a duck race today, and we're going to do, obviously, a duck race tomorrow. So we're going to fill up some extra spots here for our Venmo call. All I ask is this. Just to get ahead of the process, if you want to get in for our 50-50 raffle and you send in your 20, please also send me your email. That way I don't have to chase you down. But the emails that I'm going to send out after today's live show, Zon, Nabman, Crash Dog, Ron Raspberry, Rebel, Sienna, Frank, Ira, and Noah Santana, those are the ones that I already have. Let's go to Adrian Delgods. Chugs, next level, instigating right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And that's the problem. And that's our problem. I'll say this. There's aggressive Master Raider, and then Chugs is aggressive Instigator.
Master Instigator.
Great. Cruising, what's up, brother? How about we just wait until draft day and see what we're getting? I have faith in AP and Telesco. Yes, I am yelling Raiders to my core. Here's the problem with this, and I've had multiple people ask me, Mitch, why don't you guys just wait until draft day? Well, one, I still have to work, so it'd be kind of awkward if Chugs and I just decided to go live today and we were just like, we're just going to sit up here until the draft.
Yep.
Draft day, Thursday. I mean, we still got to make content. I hear you. There's a lot of speculation. It's why I wanted to do a mock draft today. It's why I wanted to give you more information on all other NFL teams from Adam Schefter, though maybe Schefter doesn't mean anything to Chugs. Maybe I should have gone with, I don't know, somebody more credible, like Tony Pauline.
I'm just saying, the amount of flip-flopping that Schefter has done, though, on this.
Sure.
He said equal amounts of things on both sides. He literally said, Washington Commanders fans, get your Jayden Daniels jerseys.
But the way I look at rumors, the way I look at reports is based on.
So you don't trust Schefter?
But
on him
recency.
saying get.
If you say something a week ago and then you say something this week, what's more relevant?
You're just picking and choosing what Schefter stuff you want to believe.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, if I were to tell you, I'm trying to think of an exact. But I mean, if I were to tell you, get your Commanders jerseys ready in a week, and then a week later you say that doesn't sound like Jayden Daniels wants to go there, which one holds more weight?
I would say the one where you're telling fans to get the jerseys.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
The older one. You're saying the older report, you would weigh that as more serious.
I don't know. We were still talking about EB's son from like March 2nd.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that is important. None of those are as important as Schefter saying the Jayden Daniels thing, he doesn't want to go to the Commanders.
I don't know.
I don't think because it's the most recent. If Schefter pulls up today on his show and he goes, Jayden Daniels wants to be a Commander, well, then that's the most important thing because it's the most recent. Maybe I'm crazy. John, Mitch, Raiders should move up to 3 now. And if Daniels isn't there at 3, then they should move out of 3, get back your picks and more. And if no one wants to trade, then draft all at number 3. Unfortunately, John, I don't know if I could disagree with you more.
People would freak out if you gave up all that draft capital. You're like, you know what? I know we have Colton Miller, a top 10 left tackle, but we're going to go ahead and get another one.
To me, this is how you get fired before even getting the step foot on the job. And again, if you want to trade, if you trade up to 3 and Jaden goes off the board to 2 to the Commanders, then you're taking Drake May, you're taking J.J. McCarthy, you're going to take another quarterback that you didn't want to have to give up all those picks for. I would say this, the only way possible that the Raiders trade up to number 3 right now is if Jaden and Antonio Pierce had a private conversation that was like, I'm never going to play for the Washington Commanders. Trade up to 3 right now. I'm going to tell Washington that if they pick me, I'm going to ask to be traded. You would need that type of level of to be able to trade up to 3 right now.
You would need that, and then Schefter would have to go and say something about it.
Correct.
Then you could go ahead and do the trade.
If both of those things happen, then you move up to 3. Mm-hmm. In terms of trading up to 3 now, though, no. You have to wait until draft night. Because you can't afford to take all at 3 or else, honestly, I'd be sitting up here saying, fire Telesco, fire AP.
Yeah, that'd be
Big
awful.
luck. So are we trading AOC today or tomorrow? I don't think that the Raiders are going to trade Aiden O'Connell, at least not until, if they do trade Aiden, it would be after the NFL draft. So I do really want to preface that because, and I know what you're talking about. We talked about this ESPN trade idea on Friday where we threw out the idea of, hey, Zach Wilson could potentially be on the move before the draft starts. And then if you're the Raiders and you do plan on drafting a Jayden Daniels or you plan on drafting a Michael Penix Jr., if you do value Aiden, I think one of the things that has to go into that conversation of if you were to draft Penix, Jayden Daniels, Gardner's going to be your number 2 quarterback no matter what, right? You paid him to be your number 2. For all the people out there that think Aiden is a starting caliber quarterback, well then how does it make sense to have him as your QB3? If you have him as your QB3 or planning to have him as your QB3, does it make sense to move on from him and get something? Now again, this trade idea here, I don't love the idea around it. This would be if the Raiders wanted to go up and get a Michael Penix Jr. is how we described it. But it's not impossible for the Raiders to trade Aiden this offseason. Like, let's get that one straight. But I know why you're asking. It's because Zach Wilson was traded, and we talked about it during this ESPN segment. Raider DB, put me in, coach. Yeah, and remember, every 5, you got a chance to win a Raiders Report jersey courtesy of Ira Jackson. Celtic Raider, I want in, and can I get a Raiders? I feel like if Celtic Raider wins, do we just get Celtic on the front?
I think you get a Celtics jersey and you just put Raiders.
Or, hear me out, Celtic. Say if I got Celtic, and then if Allie got it just said Raider on a Celtics jersey. Celtic Raider. I'll let you pick this one. If you win this jersey and you want me to get a Celtics jersey that says Raider on it, I'll do it. Or I'll just rock a Raiders jersey. You can pick. Patrick B. Shout out to Mount Raider Moore. It's a lot of draft capital to give up. If all we need is a quarterback, then let's do it. We need more pieces, and we need the draft picks for that. Plenty of middle-range quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl. I know plenty of middle-range QBs have won a Super Bowl. I guess my only question is, when's the most recent one? Like, far too often people bring up, oh, well, these great NFL teams used to win Super Bowls back when, the quarterback play, let's just say it, wasn't as great. The comparison we got on Friday was the Baltimore Ravens team with Kyle Bowler. Since the NFL has gone a little softer, and since the NFL has catered to quarterbacks more, tell me the last time, legitimately, it's an honest question off the top of my head, that a team recently has won a Super Bowl without a quarterback that everyone's like, you know what, that's a good quarterback.
I mean, we're thinking Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford. Maybe Matthew Stafford, but he's still considered as a top 10 quarterback.
I would have said he's probably still in that range for a top 10, but I think Stafford is probably a good name to throw out there.
The last one I can think of is probably Nick Foles with the Eagles as a backup quarterback. But even still, he had one of the best games as a quarterback in Super Bowl history. We go back to that game, he was on fire.
Peyton Manning back in 2016 with the Broncos, he was a shell of himself.
Yeah.
But he still had he was still Peyton Manning up here, which I do think that provides some value.
Everybody's saying Nick Foles in the comment section as well.
I'd say Nick Foles,
Flacco,
Flacco.
He's elite.
No. Okay, so
no.
So Nick Foles is probably the most recent one, but also this, Foles was red hot. I mean, that postseason, Foles was scorching. He was very impressive. Very, very impressive. I guess my other part of that then, Patrick, is I do think the Raiders are a quarterback away. And yes, you still need to go out and figure out a corner. Why not trade up for Jayden Daniels and then maybe try to sign a guy like Xavier Howard? I think that kind of fixes a lot of problems there. Victoria, talent wins games, but it's teamwork and intelligence that wins championships. So why would they take someone who doesn't want to be there, JD5, to LV? I also think with the Commanders right now, the thing that people got to also consider is, that's a team organization that's trying to change. What's the right word I'm looking for? Trying to change what people think about
their
them.
Culture?
Culture, yeah, I guess that's
but
top
also
to bottom.
It's a slippery slope for NFL teams if they start passing up on guys who are obviously better than the next guy. Maybe they have them rated differently, but from what I've heard, almost every team has Jayden Daniels as the number 2 quarterback going into this draft week. It would be a slippery slope for NFL teams to pass on a guy who's obviously better and say, you know what, if he doesn't want to play for us, that's fine. Because then you're just going to get, the less popular teams, the teams that aren't run as well, who usually pick at the top of the draft. You're going to have year over year guys saying, oh, yeah, I don't want to play for this team. Don't draft me.
Fair. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but if I am not a first-time head coach, but Dan Quinn, new head coach again, first-time GM and Adam Peters, am I going to bet on somebody
that's even more because Dan Quinn, this might be his last opportunity to be a head coach. If it doesn't work out in Washington, who knows if he'll get another head coaching job because the cycles have been these young, up-and-coming offensive minds. He's an older defensive mind.
So you'd be willing to bet on somebody that has a chance.
That's the higher talent. Of course, I would.
Even if he doesn't want to play for your team.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we're just going to disagree on it. Frank, you're in. Justin, you're in. Navman is in for the duck race. Navman also sent an extra $5. He said he wants to be in the jersey.
If it was to Jayden Daniels and Bo Nix, and Bo Nix wanted to be a Raider more, and Jaden said, I'd rather play other places, you'd take Bo Nix?
Absolutely not.
You'd still take Jaden?
Of course, but I think you're
Dude, that's the whole argument.
Well, you're also comparing Jayden Daniels to Bo Nix, a quarterback that I think is a top 3 talent compared to a QB that I wouldn't touch in the first 2 rounds.
Okay, J.J. McCarthy.
Same exact thing. I don't even think it's close to me.
Still a first-round grade?
I don't have a first-round grade on him, though. And maybe there's different things there, right?
Michael Penix.
Or
Jayden Daniels.
If it came out and Jaden said, I don't want to be a Raider, and I'm picking number 2 overall.
You're taking Penix
I would take
over him.
Drake May.
No, I'm saying those are your only 2 options. You're trading up to number 3. Drake May goes number 2. It's Jayden Daniels or Michael Penix.
But I wouldn't trade up to number 3 then. Like, if you're just talking about, again, you're mixing up different scenarios here. If it's Jaden's on the board at 13, and Penix is on the board at 13, and Jaden says he doesn't want to be a part of this organization, I'll go with Penix.
Him having some distaste and him saying flat out, I won't play for the Commanders, I think are 2 different things. I don't think he's come out and been like, I will not play for the Commanders. He actually came out and said, I'll play for any team that drafts me happily.
Yep.
That's the most recent news that came out.
I hear you. But maybe he won't say it. His agent is.
Thomas, we need JD. Go big or go home. Am I in for the jersey? Yes, because you sent in a $5 super chat.
Mr. Thomas Roy Ball, you in. Mr. Castro, we need to just trade up for number 3. May is worth it, especially if the only quarterback that might be available at 13 is Nix. F. Rattler 2. I'm not going to say F. Rattler 2. I still think that Penix is going to be available to you at 13, but if I'm the Raiders here, like, I am team, you trade up for Jaden, you don't take a quarterback at 13 if it's not Jaden. If it was up to me, I'm taking a Terrion Arnold, I'm taking a Talisi Fuanga, and then with my following pick, if I got to trade back up to go get Penix, then I'll do it. You cannot afford to miss at pick 13 if you're the silver and black. Let's go to Darth. Put me in. Darth, you are in, and low-key, I'm kind of rooting for Fat Ass. I would love.
He's been on quite a few.
He's been on a few. I would love a Darth Fat Ass jersey. Mando, our linebacker core is kind of weak. Would you like us to draft one in the 3rd this year or later? I actually think that the Raiders could draft a linebacker a lot sooner than what a lot of people think. And when I say linebacker, I'll say linebacker / edge, because I know that everybody is like, let's extend Malcolm Koonce, let's bring Koonce back, but I do actually think that there is a possibility that he doesn't return next year, because if you're Koonce, would you not try to bet on yourself this season and then hit the free agency market? Because if Koonce hits the free agency market next offseason and he comes off another year where he puts up 8-9 sacks, he's going to get $12 to $15 million. He's not going to get a $12 to $15 million extension. So if you're the Raiders and you really want to be able to build that linebacker edge rushing core, which I anticipate that is going to be a position that they target, because Rob Leonard, the Raiders defensive line coach, was coaching the linebackers at the Senior Bowl, something that the Raiders really, really value. I do see the Raiders taking some sort of linebacker edge between rounds 2 to 4. I really, really, truly do. Adrian, what's up, my brother? It's been a while since I've made a live. Appreciate you. Glad to be back.
It's been a while.
Love this content and the hype around Jaden. Can I get a Raiders? Adrian, to you and all y'all out there, if you don't know, Jeremy Chuggs and I, we are going to be live for the 2024 NFL Draft, and we're going to be live all 3 days, all 7 rounds, every pick. We will get the picks before you see them up on television. So if you don't already know, subscribe and turn on those notifications. Navman! I don't know what the record is for most shows in a row that somebody has banged, but Navman has to be close. Like, again, I don't know how many shows this is in a row for Navman, but dude, Navman, I'm telling you right now, you're going to lose your shit Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That I can guarantee you. Whoever spams 93 the most, we're going to put you in a free entry for that Raiders Report jersey, courtesy of Ira Jackson, courtesy of 93 Navman. Navman said, Bo Nix wrecked me on him when he said in his press conference that the SEC was too much for him. Kicked his ass in every game they played in the Pac-12. Big games, not for Nix. Can't do shit. Mentally weak. Again, I'm not going to sit up here and say that he's a mentally weak quarterback. I will admit that I don't know if he's going to be strong enough to be able to handle the nation. Like, playing in the SEC is tough. Playing down south, I'm sure for a program like Auburn is not an easy thing to do, right? I'm not going to try to get that twisted. But I also know what the nation is like. And to me, if you can't handle playing at Auburn and you literally come out and say that playing at Auburn was just too mentally taxing for me, I am questioning your ability to be able to handle Raider Nation, to be able to handle the attention that the AFC West is going to get. Whatever quarterback is the QB for the Silver and Black, you better be able to handle a spotlight. You're in the same division as Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl defending champs, same division as Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, same division as Sean Payton and the Broncos. If you can't handle big-time games, it's not the right spot for you to be in. And that is one of those reasons why, again, I go down a list of why I don't want Bo Nix to be the quarterback. Him not being able to handle the pressure of the SEC, it is a cherry on top to me, right? Like, that's just another reason why I know for a fact that he will be a bust. He will fail in Las Vegas. It might not happen with everybody
Jeremy Cole.
Jeremy Cole. Jeremy Cole is the extra one. Gotcha. Also, friendly reminder, if you want a chance to win some money, $20 Venmo today.
Our Super Chat puller was messing up. So Ahmed also Super Chatted, Jaden is gone, but May is there at 5. We trading, question mark?
That's it.
Jaden is gone, but if May is there at 5, are we trading up?
I don't think the Chargers would trade with you just because it's the Chargers. However, though, like, if I would trade up for Drake May. Like, again, I like Drake May a lot. I think he's a really good quarterback prospect, and I think he'd be a good fit for what this organization wants to do. To me, though, the only QB they will trade up for is Jayden Daniels. Darth, what does a spy do when he gets cold?
Goes under covers.
Yep. Hashtag daddy joke.
Not dad joke.
Not a dad joke, but a daddy joke. Jake Serb, Thomas Roy Ball. Let's get into some of these latest going on from Adam Schefter. Trevor, you're in. Nabman, you're in. Justin, you are in.
You're
Frank,
so in.
also in. So as it stands right now, $20 Venmo, you'd have the chance to win $40 here on the Raiders Report, but maybe more importantly, you also have the opportunity to join our Zoom call. So we are giving away 2 Zoom call spots today. Whoever comes in second place during our duck race and whoever comes in last place during our duck race, we're going to enter you guys in for a chance to join the Zoom. Scott Eckert, you in? Mr. Eckert is also in. So right now, we could have, 3 out of the 5 people that are in this race are going to come away with winners. That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty damn good. To the people that lose, I'm sorry. If Nabman, you're already in anyway. So, is what it is. Chugs, you ready to get this one going?
I was, but we have one more Super Chat to get to.
Okay. Let me see what it is.
From Yoda.
Okay, Yoda.
How much does corn cost at Raymond James Stadium? Buccaneer.
I'll tell you what. That's a clever one, and I don't know if that's one that you can Google. Like to me, a lot of these you can just like look up. I bet you that's a high thought. That's a shower thought.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt. Yoda was laughing about that at random time. There was one day this weekend. I'm not gonna say which day that Yoda was like, that joke makes sense.
Eric Castro.
You in.
You're in.
Yeah, absolutely in.
I don't think you could get any more in than you are right now, Eric.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You're good. I'm actually starting to panic if you're 2 in. Coming up here on the show, let's talk about NFL insider Adam Schefter and what he has to say about some of the things that he is hearing around the NFL before the draft. It's crazy to think that the draft is on Thursday.
What has he said most recently? We'll find out.
We're about to find out. What's coming up here on today's show. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I wanted to do something a little bit different from what I usually do, where we talk a lot about Raiders rumors on this show, right? Well, today I wanted to talk about the latest NFL draft rumors from Adam Schefter, because he put out an article early on Monday about a lot of the things that he's hearing around the National Football League. And I thought, let me take, based on some of the things that he is saying, because some of those reports have a direct impact on the Las Vegas Raiders. So I found 10 things. I know it's a lot. 10 things from what Schefter reported today that I thought potentially impacted the silver and black. Let's go to the first note here that Schefter had was around the Arizona Cardinals, and could they potentially be a team that trades back? One of the things that Schefter says is like, the Cardinals might be one of the most active teams in the first round, and the quote that I thought was very interesting from Schefter was this. Arizona General Manager Monty Ossenfort has advertised with the number 4 overall pick, his team is open for business, but no sales are expected to be final until the Cardinals are on the clock. Ossenfort has told teams around the league that have inquired about trading up that he wants to wait until he is in position to pick before agreeing to any trade. So I know on this show before we've talked about, hey, could the Raiders trade up to number 4 to go get Jayden Daniels or whoever they're going to be potentially picking at pick 4. That's the GM of Arizona telling you, hey, we're not taking any trades until we are officially on the clock. So some of the teams that Schefter reported that are interested in potentially trading up, we know that the silver and black are there. The Denver Broncos, which now after they traded for Zach Wilson, I don't know if maybe it's as likely. The Minnesota Vikings are absolutely a team looking to move up. They already made a deal with the Houston Texans. They have 11-23. And then another team Schefter mentioned, the New York Giants. So those are the 4 teams that are looking to move up here for pick number 4. At the end of the day, if the team that moves up for a QB, they're going to move up for a quarterback. And man, I hope it's the Raiders, because if the Raiders make that trade up, hopefully you were tuned into our live coverage, because we're going to be rocking and rolling on Thursday, April 25th. We're going to get the show started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. But if you're wondering, Mitch, what does your schedule look like for the NFL draft this week? I'm going to be live Monday and Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, keeping it the same like we usually do. And then 90 minutes before, 1 hour before the NFL draft starts, set a calendar reminder, set an alarm. Chugs and I are going to be rocking and rolling for probably close to, 30 hours over that 3-day stretch there. It's a long day, long week, but I love doing it, and I love talking with all y'all. So please tune in. A lot of giveaways, a lot of prizes as well. Let's go to the next thing here. The Commanders drafting a quarterback. Now, one of the things that Schefter kind of notes, and we've obviously talked about Jaden, his connection with the Commanders. Their general manager has made it pretty straightforward comments of hey, we're going to take somebody at pick number 2. But the most recent thing that Schefter has said is, while Daniels would have liked more FaceTime with the Commanders officials during his visit last week, which included 3 of the top quarterbacks in the class, the signs continue to point to Washington taking him at number 2. The Commanders have been highly impressed with Daniels' ability, and they are not alone. One NFL head coach whose team is not in the quarterback market said he would take Daniels over Caleb Williams, who is expected to be drafted number 1 by the Bears. It's a no-brainer to me, the coach said. Jaden looks like the best guy in the draft. One of the things that Chugs and I are kind of arguing about on our live show, for those of you that are tuned in right now, is even though it has been reported that Jaden doesn't really want to go to the Commanders, Schefter now with his new report is saying that it still looks like it's going to be Jaden with the number 2 overall pick. And one of the things is do you take a player that's literally I don't know if I want to play for you? Up. Yeah, interesting. Yes, no. Will the Commanders draft Jayden Daniels? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Again, a lot of these talking points are not necessarily around the Raiders, but you got to keep your friends close, and you got to keep your enemies closer. And right now, one of the enemies, it's the Washington Commanders. After this YouTube ad break, I am going to give you my answer, so scroll on down and give me yours. I would say right now there is a 50% chance Jaden is a Commander, and I am really, really hoping that Washington ends up drafting J.J. McCarthy. If somebody were to ask me, Mitch, what is your dream draft scenario? It is Caleb Williams going off the board at number 1. It is J.J. McCarthy going off the board at number 2. And then it is the Minnesota Vikings trading up with the New England Patriots to go get their quarterback in Drake May, which that means then Austin Fort, the Cardinals, where we started the show, on the clock at number 4. Raiders trade up and go get Jayden Daniels. Let's go to another Schefter draft note here. It's around the New England Patriots and them trading that pick. So actually, when I put this show together and before this report came out from Schefter, Diana Rossini, she tweeted out that New England is right now currently fielding calls for the number 3 overall pick. I'll tell you what Schefter had to say about New England and the latest going on with the Patriots. But before I do, I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Game Time. Whether you're looking to be in Vegas, maybe you're like Zach Wilson, you got traded to the Denver Broncos, and you're like, well, I was looking to do an event in New York. Luckily, they got the cancellation policy. Well, now I can go to Denver and I can look to see what's going on over there. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all in price, views from your seat, and their best price guaranteed, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. If you don't know how to spell it, it's CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Some of the things that I love about Game Time, I love being able to view my seats from the venue. I also love the fact that they do have that event cancellation policy, because one of the things with Game Time is like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing this weekend, right? Well, I do know what I'm doing this week. I got the NFL draft. But a normal weekend, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to plan something and then be stuck to it. I like on a Saturday night, Alex and I are hanging out, and it's like, do you want to do something? And if she gives me the green light, then I can go on Game Time and I can get the tickets. Jugs, get your head out of the gutter. Download Game Time today. $20 off with code CHATSPORTS. That link's going to be available to you all down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring the Raiders Report. So here's what Schefter had to say on the Patriots. The Patriots, slated to pick number 3, also have been fielding calls from teams. It would take a big offer for New England to move off that spot, knowing it needs to come out of round 1 with a quarterback. But the team has listened, and the Vikings, among others, have attempted to move up. The way that I would look at that, based on what Schefter said, is, to me, the number 1 team that's been the most aggressive is Minnesota. Like, to me, the Vikings, I think, have a better chance of going up and trading up for a QB than the Raiders do, because they've already got that head start of, hey, we already acquired an extra pick there at number 23. But the Raiders have tried to move up to number 3. The Patriots have said it's not enough. This has been a report. I am telling you something that I heard over the weekend. The Raiders have tried to move up already to see what it would cost. The Patriots have simply said no. More here from Adam Schefter on the Patriots. Some around the league believe if the Vikings can get as high as number 3, their preference would be quarterback Drake May from North Carolina, who was coached in high school by Minnesota's new quarterback coach, Josh McCown. But many are waiting to see what the Patriots value May versus J.J. McCarthy, and whether New England could make a play like the Cardinals, who made 2 trades in round 1 a year ago. So I know I sit up here on this show a lot of the times and I say, like, the reason why I want J.J. McCarthy to go off the board at number 2 is because Minnesota wants Drake May. They don't want Jayden Daniels. And if Drake May becomes available to them, then that's going to be the QB that they're looking for. Makes it a little bit less competition for the silver and black. The next thing coming up here is not breaking news whatsoever, but I do want to talk about it. Adam said Caleb Williams is a Bear. And Caleb Williams has met with some Bears players. They've already kind of done like their whole thing. The only team Caleb has met with is Chicago. The only team that knows his medical reports, the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams is a Bear, lock, loaded, number 1 overall pick. Next thing Schefter goes and talks about is the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Schefter refers to it as like the big opportunity that Jim Harbaugh has in year 1, because he really believes that this could be a team that is another trade back candidate, or they just go get the number 1 receiver in this year's draft. Schefter on what the Chargers could do. If McCarthy sneaks into the first 4 picks, it will mean the Chargers, who hold the number 5 selection, will have the first non-QB pick. If McCarthy doesn't find his way into the first 4 picks, there could be a team calling Harbaugh and general manager Joe Horitz to trade for the number 5 pick and the chance to draft McCarthy. I'll tell you this right now. There's going to be a part of me that wonders, and if somebody asked me, Mitch, what's the craziest trade that could happen on day 1 of the NFL draft? Craziest trade that could happen on day 1 of the NFL draft? Again, I'm just throwing it out there. J.J. McCarthy's available at pick 5. Jim Harbaugh takes J.J. McCarthy at 5, and then they figure out a way to trade away Justin Herbert. That would be the craziest thing. The thing that's probably going to happen is Marvin Harrison Jr. would be on the board there at number 5. And the reason why I'm asking this is because Harbaugh literally got a Michigan tattoo over the weekend, okay? And he's a very, Michigan proud guy. If Marvin Harrison Jr. is on the clock, on the board at number 5, do they take him? Or do you see them go with a Malik Neighbors, a Roma Dunze? Do they go a different option here? If it was me, I would take Marvin Harrison Jr. if I was the Chargers. But does that mean Harbaugh's going to do it? Let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Type D for draft, type P for pass. Despite me playing all these crazy games here with Harbaugh, if you're a coach and you need a wide receiver, which, let's face it, that's what the Chargers need, if Harbaugh does not take Marvin Harrison Jr. and he's not the first receiver off the board, I think people should start questioning what Harbaugh's doing over there. We still got 5 more things that Schefter hits on in this most recent article for ESPN+. He also talks about the Seattle Seahawks drafting a quarterback, and the reason why that this is intriguing is Seattle picks at number 16, and they don't have a long history of taking quarterbacks in round 1. I believe they've only done it twice in the last, 20, 30 years or something like that. But what's interesting about this is, a lot of times we talk about Penix maybe being available in that back late round 1. What if Seattle's the team to watch that could take him? And based on what Schefter's saying, Penix at 16 could be an option. The Seahawks will have additional insight into a few local prospects, including quarterback Michael Penix Jr. and offensive lineman Troy Fautanu, who played at Washington, could be first-round picks. New head coach Mike McDonald hired former Huskies offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb and his OC and offensive line coach Scott Huff as his O-line coach, which means Seattle could have an intriguing decision to make if both are available when their pick comes up at number 16. With regards to Penix, though, it should be pointed out that the Seahawks are high on quarterback Sam Howell, who they traded for last month, and feel he offers some unique advantages. Now, one of the things that I do find interesting is I don't see Seattle taking Michael Penix Jr., but if he does fall down the board a little bit more because of all the moves that Seattle made hiring a lot of those coaches, I do think that Seattle could be one of those sneaky teams where if Penix is on the board in round 2, that could be a team that potentially trades up and tries to get him, because I don't know if they're sold on Geno Smith being the future. Let's go to talk about Bo Nix now, because one of the quarterbacks that I do not want to land with the silver and black is Oregon quarterback Bo Nix. And another team that I've kind of hinted at the idea of, could this be a destination for Aiden O'Connell? I know they have Jimmy Garoppolo as their backup, but to me, the Rams are probably going to be looking for a young quarterback that can take over for Matthew Stafford, because they know it's not going to be Jimmy G. Schefter, in terms of Nix going to the Rams, I thought was kind of interesting. Should LA decide to look for a future successor for quarterback Matthew Stafford, who currently has no more guaranteed money on his contract after the season, general manager Les Snead could turn to a familiar face in Bo Nix. Snead was a graduate assistant coach at Auburn in 1993 when the school's quarterback was Patrick Nix, Bo's father. Patrick helped lead Auburn to an 11-0 record as a sophomore last season. Snead could go from watching one Nix make a mark on a team he was associated with earlier in his career to another Nix trying to make a mark on his team years later. I do know how the NFL works, and I know the NFL is a big, relationships type of league, and if you're going to take a quarterback that early, you need to have a solid relationship there. So what I figured is, we know Caleb's going off the board, Drake May, Jayden Daniels. Those are 3 QBs. You can bet on it right now, will go in round 1. However, J.J. McCarthy, I think he's going to end up going round 1. Does Penix go round 1? Does Bo Nix go round 1? Does Spencer Rattler go round 1? I don't think that one's going to happen, but we did see it was reported by Jordan Schultz that he could go round 2. And if QBs start going off the board, anything is possible. Let me know down below how many quarterbacks you think end up going in round 1. Because for me personally, the number that I'm going to bet on that QBs go in round 1, I'm going to bet on 5 quarterbacks going in round 1. And that's going to be some mixture of Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy, and the top 3 guys. I don't see Bo going in the round 1 because so many people to me don't value him as a round 1 quarterback. 4 is a guarantee. 5 is an interesting number. 5's probably the number that I'd be willing to bet on. Let's go to the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman. Never afraid to make a trade, and that was one of the things that Schefter hinted at. I also thought it was intriguing because we talk about Quinyon Mitchell, we talk about Terry and Arnold both being available to the Raiders at 13. What happens if Philadelphia gets aggressive and tries to move up for one of the corners? That's what Schefter thinks is a possibility. If Roseman wants a corner at number 22, as many people around the league believe he could, he might have to move up again. Per sources, he already has been calling around, gauging what a trade-up might look like to be prepared for what has become a near-annual tradition. It's also worth noting, Roseman, who has been Philly's GM since 2010, has never drafted a corner, tight end, running back, or safety in round one. The reason why that I'm bringing this up is because, again, I do think that there are certain teams that could end up trading back that are right in front of the Las Vegas Raiders. The team that I actually think could be that team is the Broncos if they're trying to stockpile some of that extra picks and some of the extra stuff that they gave away for Russell Wilson. If Philly wants to make a move to go get a Terrion Arnold or a Quinyon Mitchell, it's going to be a lot, but it's definitely a team to keep in mind. Let's go to then the final thing here, and it's around the Kansas City Chiefs drafting a receiver. Oh, there is one more thing after. When I think about Kansas City, it was always anticipated that they were going to be targeting a receiver, and Schefter kind of hits on this again. Even before the whole Rashee Rice thing, it was Kansas City, let's get Mahomes another option here, and Schefter's doubling down on this, saying Kansas City, which owns the number 32 pick, would have been expected to look for a wide receiver help even before Rice's troubles. The team had the most drops in the league with 38 last season. Now, it sounds like it's the right draft to add a wideout. To me, there are three options that I believe Kansas City is going to look at. The common name is Xavier Worthy, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, we don't want that to happen. Not that I don't want it to happen. However, Worthy to me is 4.3 fast on a football field. Like, his tape does not show me 4.21 what he ran at the combine. Unbelievably fast. And I know it scares some people, but Worthy does have some drop issues where I honestly think that the better receiver in the NFL is going to be A.D. Mitchell. The other receiver, this is the guy that I do not want to end up in Kansas City because we've seen speed demons. And no matter what, if you're Patrick Mahomes, you're going to get the most out of a guy. The receiver that I don't want to see go to Kansas City is Ladd McConkey because he might not be the most athletic guy, still very athletic receiver. He's a hell of a route runner, and when you look at those numbers, don't look at the numbers. He was in a run-first offense with Georgia that was in the lead a lot of games. If you got Patrick Mahomes, a sure-handed receiver that run routes like Renfro his first 3 years, Ladd McConkey is much more polished than what Renfro was his first 3 years. I don't want to see this combination happen. This one scares the absolute hell out of me. Then, the final thing that we're going to talk about is the Atlanta Falcons potentially losing a pick. I know it says number 8 pick, and if you remember just last year, the Miami Dolphins lost their first-round pick for some tampering issues. Right now, the things that are going on around Atlanta involves I almost said Matt Ryan, with them getting Kirk Cousins. I don't think that the NFL is going to take away the number 8 overall pick, but it is something that is currently being discussed of Atlanta might lose a pick. If they end up losing pick 8, I'll tell you what, it does make it a lot more easier of a conversation for the Raiders to be able to move up and go get a guy like Jayden Daniels. So if you don't already know our live schedule this week, it is as follows. Shugs and I are going to be live Monday and Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we're going live 90 minutes early on Thursday and Friday, and then we're going to go live an hour early before the NFL Draft. Take a screenshot, save this, put it in your calendar. We're going to be having a lot of fun here on the Raiders Report. The question is, are you going to be joining us? How many quarterbacks will be drafted in round 1? Let me know down below, Chugs. I got to switch my jersey here. Next segment coming up on the Raiders Report, we're going to be doing a Jayden Daniels mock draft. And I'm telling you this, I've done a lot of mock drafts. This might be the best one I've ever done.
Really?
It might be the best one I've ever done. Real talk.
Wow. Humble. Yep. How many quarterbacks will be drafted in the first round this season? Is it 4? Is it 5? Is it 6? Is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 9? Probably not, but let me know what you think down in the comment section. A lot of 5s. 32. 32. Could you imagine an all first round quarterback mock? You're getting some FCS kids on those later round or in those later picks. Are there even 30 quarterbacks? I think there is. Let's see. I see some 6s, 4, 5, 5, 6. I think in that instance, I think the Raiders might get that quarterback.
Travis.
Maybe Jordan Travis. Maybe the kid from Tulane.
Joe Milton off the board, number 13 overall.
Joe Milton? I don't know. I think that would make one person in this office very happy.
I actually don't know if it would. I actually don't think Petey would be happy if Joe Milton went to the Raiders.
I think he would because that means he would get a starting opportunity.
I mean, he'd get an opportunity. I mean, I guess if you were to draft Joe Milton at 13, he's going to get a legit chance. That might be the worst quarterback room I've ever seen, but actually, I don't.
People are sleeping on Joe Milton.
You think?
No.
Okay. I think Milton could be a good football player. He's just got to find the right role for him. It's not quarterback, but he's got to find the right role for him.
Ultra VAB.
I won my first duck race. Oh wait, I won my first duck. Ray, I won my first duck. Ultra VAB. Also, I got to give a few more shout-outs here. Ira Jackson,
Raiders.
Ira Jackson is in, which means as it stands right now, $20 Venmo, you have a chance to win $60. Whoever comes in second place, you're in our Venmo call, and whoever comes in last place, you're also in our Zoom call, excuse me.
Yes.
So 3 out of 6 right now. You got a 50% chance to win something.
93, Nav man.
Digging Seahawks quarterback at first.
He said he did some digging. He found that the Seahawks drafted a quarterback in the first round twice in their history.
Okay, I was going to say.
Can you name those two? Petey, the 2 quarterbacks the Seahawks drafted in round 1, do you know? Nope.
I have no idea.
All time.
They can't be in the last 20 years.
Yeah. Zorn? Maybe. Oh, we do have.
Uh-oh.
Trying to remember. Is Rick Meyer one of them?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No, yeah, it's not like we're asking knowing the answer. We were just asking.
Rick Meyer sounds like they couldn't film Halloween on their full budget. So they got him instead.
Navman gave me the answer. Rick
Okay.
Meyer is correct. Zorn not correct.
I saw this stat today that John Schneider, the GM, has only drafted 2 QBs.
Yep. That's what.
One of those Russell Wilson. That's what I'm referencing.
Does McGuire mean anything to you?
I think was he number 3 overall? There was like a bus that Seattle took like really early.
I have no idea.
But I think
Your guess is better than mine, Moose.
Better than mine, man. Yep, Rick Meyer was good, just not in the pros. All right, y'all, remember today's deals, $5 Super Chat. You're in for a chance to win a Raiders Report jersey courtesy of Ira Jackson and the shit show he did on Thursday, our newest Mount Raider More member. Then also $20 Venmo. First place, you get the money. Second place, you're in our Zoom call. Last place, not only do you get a butthole pick, you also get in our Zoom call. So some might argue it's the best one.
You get a double.
You do.
Double down.
A poo for the price of one.
A little KFC double down.
Sometimes that's what you need, man. I also just saw that we had a few more people get in this duck race here, which it looks like Adrian Rod is in, and then Ultra VAB is in twice. So that means now 20 to win 90. Coming up here next on the show.
Ira in the chat. Spam Ira.
A mock draft coming up.
Spam Ira.
All right, you know what? The person that spams Ira the most, we're going to give that an entry.
Into the raffle?
The Raiders Sport jersey raffle. Because what? Jeremy got the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy got the first one. So whoever spams Ira the most here, you're going to get an opportunity to get in our Raiders Report jersey raffle. So right now I'm rocking my Pony Carl jersey, which I still have to put in a few more orders, which I'll probably try to do that Wednesday or after the NFL draft. Like the jersey orders that I have to put in right now, I got Philip Bogert, which Bogert, I just saw your comment, Zahn, Husker, Noah Santana, Long Ron, and then the 2 jersey giveaway winners are some of the jerseys I have to do. Still a lot to do. Lot to do. Did you pick somebody?
No, not yet. I actually was putting down other people who had gotten in. I forgot
I got you.
Needed to get those people in.
If you want a chance to get in for our Raiders Report jersey, spam Ira down below. Let's get it going here. If you want to pick the name, you can. There has been a few names that I've seen multiple times.
I always pick. How about you pick this one?
I pick. All right, the name that I've seen pop up a bunch is Big Luck.
All right.
I've seen Big Luck a bunch.
Let's see if your name is true or if you're just a big fat liar.
Ugh. Though I will say Big Luck has a better ring to it than Big Fat Liar. Not as good of a jersey.
Good movie, though.
What? Big Fat Liar?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, I think, isn't that the one with like Amanda Bynes and Frankie Muniz?
I think that's a different movie.
Really?
The Big Fat Liar, the one where she plays soccer?
That's She's the Man.
Well, that's what I thought you were talking about. That's the only movie I knew Amanda Bynes is
No,
in.
Big Fat Liar's the one where Paul Giamatti is like turns blue because he gets in the pool and they put like the dye in there or whatever.
Dude, that's an old movie.
Right?
I guess. I actually don't know. I think the most random old school movie that I would watch tonight is Blank Check.
The old school movie that I would watch, probably Smart House.
Yeah. What's crazy is imagine getting a blank check and only writing $1 million on it.
Oh, actually, you know what? Big Luck's already in the race. He sent in a 5 earlier.
Oh, he did? All right, well then I'm just going to go with the person who's still spamming, Texans versus Mexicans.
Dude, that's the one I was going to pick.
Okay, because they're keeping it moving here.
Texans versus Mexicans.
Texans versus Mexicans. Trace, you in. Also, Mr. Laver, you in. Which we are all caught up now. All right, my man, you ready to do this mock draft?
Oh,
This is kind of a juicy mock draft. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to.
This one's
do
gonna
something different. It's not my last mock draft, but I think you guys are gonna like it.
This one's gonna mock your socks off.
Yeah. This is one of those you're gonna want to delete your history when you're done. If you're in Texas, you might not be able to watch it. You might not.
I will say a lot of Mitch's mocks have been pretty big. This is a small mock. It's a good mock. It's a small mock.
It is, but
It's not about the size of your mock. It's about how you use the picks.
Yep, I agree. And you guys are going to like the picks that I'm using here. Good.
Mm-hmm. Motion of the ocean.
What was it? Sideways girth?
Mm-hmm.
Good sideways girth here. You have no idea what we're talking about, and that's totally okay. Coming up, a perfect Raiders mock draft, if I do say so myself, and then also a reminder, Mother's Day stuff. Cool? All right. Let's go. Let's get it going. Raider Nation, what's going on? I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and coming up, I got the perfect Raiders mock draft where the silver and black trade up to go get Jayden Daniels. We've talked about it for weeks. We've talked about it for months around Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco figuring out a way to reunite Heisman Trophy winner Jayden Daniels, not only with AP, but also with a guy like Marvin Lewis. And you know what? Today, I cooked it up, and I made it happen. If you don't know what the Raiders 2024 draft picks are, it is as follows. 8 picks in total, 1 pick in every single round, 2 picks in round 7. Here's the thing, though. I have trades in this mock draft, and I had to get a little bit creative. The reason why that I'm calling it perfect is because when this mock started to unwind, I was like, Caleb Williams off the board at 1. Cool. J.J. McCarthy goes off the board here at number 2. And I'll be real with you. I panicked a little bit because I don't know if Jaden's going to fall to me at number 4. So I went ahead, I picked up the phone, I gave the New England Patriots a call because they are fielding calls. It was a report that came out on Monday.
Ring, ring, ring,
and
ring.
This was the trade that they accepted. I was willing to give up 3 first-round picks. So pick 13, my first-round pick in 2025, my first-round pick in 2026. If I'm Antonio Pierce and I'm Telesco, I look at this as best-case scenario to be able to move up for your QB because if Jaden doesn't end up working out, you're not going to be around in 2026 anyway. So if I'm the Raiders, if I'm AP and Telesco, I go, well, either I don't have a job, okay, or this trade ends up working out and then it was more than worth it. My question to you is this. If you're in agreement with me, I say F the picks. If I told you right now I could trade Alex Leatherwood, Tyree Wilson, Damon Arnett, Henry Ruggs, Cleveland Ferrell, Jonathan Abram, all these busts end the first round to go get my guy, I'm going to do it. So that's what I did. I said F the picks. I believe that if we get Jayden Daniels, we are a legit Super Bowl contending team. So that is my pick here at number 3. I wanted to be able to do a mock draft like this because for the amount of times that I talked about going up and getting Jayden Daniels, finally I said, F it. I'm going to do it, and if I can do it where I also don't have to move on from picks in this year's draft or in next year's draft outside of the first round, then I am all on board for it. The way that this mock ended up falling, though, I still wanted to be able to show it to you because I thought it was kind of interesting. Off the board at number 4 was Drake May. The Minnesota Vikings ended up trading up for him, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. went off the board here at number 5. So the way that this mock's going to go, I am going to now take you through all the remainder picks here, all 7 picks for the silver and black. But here's the thing. We landed Jayden Daniels, and that to me is a big, big time win. So let's now go to round 2, pick 44, since I didn't have to give up any of my picks for this year to go up and get my quarterback. And before I tell you who the Raiders ended up taking in round 2, pick 44, if the Raiders draft a quarterback in round 1, so this doesn't even have to just be the Jayden Daniels question, if they draft a quarterback in round 1, which position should they target in round 2? Should they go offensive tackle? Should they go cornerback? Should they go a totally different position? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. You're about to get hit with the YouTube ad break. I want you to scroll on down and give me your answer. To me, I am still going to go with best player available, though I will admit I will probably go best player available at offensive tackle or at the cornerback position, which is exactly what I did here. There was a few corners that went off the board that I was really upset about. So because of that, I am going to go with Kingsley Suamaitai, the offensive tackle from BYU. He's played left tackle last season. But to me, when you watch his tape, he was better at right tackle in 2022. This also gives you the flexibility where if you want to kick Thayer Munford over to left guard, or if you want to kick Thayer Munford into right guard and keep Dylan Parham over at left guard, you now have a very stout offensive line, which I love me some Jayden Daniels, but you also have to be able to take into consideration the guy is thin. You need to be able to keep him upright. And one of the things that I love here about Kingsley, he's got the good size, solid play strength, does have a little bit of the sloppy hands, which can hurt him against speedy edge rushers, but I'm hoping that that can get a little bit better with time. The Raiders' offensive line, after signing Cody Whitehair, you could roll into the season with this line. I don't think it's a top 16 line in the NFL. I still want to be able to add a little bit more. But to me, I have said multiple times that I view Thayer Munford as being a reliable starting offensive guard in this league, and I think that his footwork is better on the left side. So if you told me I can go Colton Miller, Thayer Munford, Andre James, a Dylan Parham, and then you throw in a Kingsley Suamaitai, to me, that is a pretty good recipe for success if you're the silver and black. Yes, I get it. He played left tackle last season. The only way that you're doing this is if you've had a conversation with this young man that says, are you open to the idea of playing right tackle for the Las Vegas Raiders? And I think he's going to say yes. Let's go to round 3 now. Pick 77. I got Jaden in round 1. I got Maitai in round 2. So now I'm going to go back to the defensive side of the football, and I'm going to go with somebody that I know for a fact that the Raiders are very high on. I'm going to go with linebacker from Michigan, Junior Colson. To me, is a modern-day blend of speed and explosiveness at the linebacker position. He does lack a little bit of that recognition in some blocking schemes, especially against the run. But to me, I'm looking for upside here with Colson, and he has that legit 3-down linebacker upside, and he's got a very wide range of his ability to go sideline to sideline. I'm betting on Colson also because I like the Raiders' defensive coaching staff. I believe in Antonio Pierce. I believe in Patrick Graham. I believe in Rob Leonard, the entire staff. Hell, Caldwell, the Raiders linebacker coach. I gave it an A+ grade. Yeah, Colson might not be polished right now, and if he were to go to certain NFL teams, he might get lost. But just because I don't say he's polished doesn't mean that I don't think he's a top 3 linebacker in this year's class. So for me, I'm able to get somebody that's able to start. You put him next to a Robert Spillane. You put him next to somebody like a Divine Diablo, and then you can let this one cook going forward. Let's go to round 4, pick 112. And before I tell you who the silver and black decided to take in this round, is a very important message. Mother's Day is right around the corner. And I'll tell you this, whether it's you want to get a gift for your significant other, whether you want to get a gift for your mom, for grandma, this is the one day that I think is a very, very important day to just let the women in your life know that you care about them. And maybe a little bit of a gift is an easy way to do that. I'll also say this, you better get them some flowers on top of this. But if you want to get your mom, significant other, whoever, a special Mother's Day gift, I got a sale going on right now, chatsports.com/RaiderMom. I'm going to say it again, chatsports.com/RaiderMom. I got Raiders jerseys. I got Raiders t-shirts. I also have a Raiders mom tumbler. Queen Sarah Auto could chug out of this, right? No doubt. Also, if you need something for a little bit of coffee to stay up to watch this shenanigans during the NFL draft, here you go. Bottom line is Mother's Day is May 12th. And I just know how I am. I got the NFL draft on my mind. I'm also moving May 1st. In my mind, I'm like, oh, I got all this stuff going on. You're never too busy for your mother. You're never too busy for your wife. You're never too busy for the people that you're going to be celebrating Mother's Day with. Chatsports.com/RaiderMom to go make sure those special women in your life know that they're loved and appreciated. Let's go to round 4, pick 112 here. I've gone quarterback, offensive tackle, linebacker, and this is another player that I just find myself taking in a lot of mock drafts because I think he's going to be a really good fit with the Raiders, and it fills the need. I'm going to go Brendan Rice here, wide receiver from USC. I love his physicality. I love what he's able to bring to you in the red zone. He also has got that good built-up speed to create deep ball opportunities. Yes, I'll admit, he does struggle to maintain and separate underneath here a little bit, but with a guy like Jaden, who's got one of the best deep balls in the league, I can't wait to see what he would be able to do with somebody like Devontae Adams. Trey Tucker's really going to be able to stretch the field. Jacoby's more of that intermediate route guy, but if you get into the red zone, and if you're an NFL defensive coordinator and you got to go, do I cover Devontae, Jacoby, Brendan Rice, Michael Mayer? It's not really an easy discussion. On top of that, at any moment, Jayden Daniels can tuck it, and he can run in for 6. If you haven't already subscribed to the Raiders Report, dang it, what are you waiting for? We got round 1 coverage starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe. Be ready for our live coverage of the 2024 NFL Draft. We will get the picks before you see them on TV. We got tons, and I mean tons of giveaways, fun show items on top of that, and the way that I am with any type of event, I would rather watch and listen to something with my friends and family than me just sitting around watching something by myself. You will have fun if you watch the Raiders Report draft coverage. This is now my 6th year covering the draft, 5th year covering the draft. I'll tell you this, every single year it gets better and better and better, and this year I have never been more excited than what I am for the 2024 NFL Draft. Let's go now to round 5, pick 148 here because the Raiders, we still got 4 picks remaining. However, to me, there was a certain player on the board that started to slide down this mock draft, and I go, you know what? F them picks. I'm going to go get a position of need. So here is the trade that I ended up doing. I actually traded up to pick 122 in the 4th round. The Chicago Bears, who, for those that don't know, the Bears' final pick would have been pick 122. They would have been done. So I gave them 3 additional picks. I gave them pick 148, a 6th-round pick in 208, and a 7th-round pick in 223. I know, it's a lot of picks to move up, but there was a certain guy that I felt like, man, if I can get this position, this draft to me is a home run. So I picked 122. The Las Vegas Raiders, they traded up for cornerback Kyrie Jackson out of Oregon. He is extremely physically gifted. I mean, when you're 6'4" and you're playing outside corner, he's got that rare size and strength that you're looking for. The tape, there's not a lot of games here. He's only got 14 games started in college, and his technique needs work. But I will continuously say this. I will bet on players like a Kyrie Jackson to make it with the silver and black because do you believe in the Raiders defensive coaching staff? I would say 95% of the people watching the show say Yes, I do. He loves to tackle. He's a physical player. He's a solid press man corner, I'll admit. One of the things that I'm worried about is like when he tries to jam somebody at the line of scrimmage, he throws knockout hits, right? And when he misses, he gets beat. Now, luckily, the Raiders got some good safeties to be able to help him over the top, but at 6'3", 195 pounds, you get the right coaching around him. He has the physical gifts that not a lot of people have. And if you're able to say, I trust my coaching staff, and if you hit the upside in Kyrie Jackson, there's your outside corner. And if you don't love him and you just say, you know what, we want to have him as depth in year one, you still have the opportunity to go sign a guy like Xavier Howard in the offseason. So here we go. I traded a lot. Round 4, I took Kyrie Jackson at 122, which means now the only pick left in my Raiders mock draft is round 7, pick 229, because I traded that 2025 and 2026 first. Also, the picks down below, I traded them as well to go get my guy. So here we go, round 7, 229. I'm going to go with offensive guard Jacob Monk from Duke. What am I looking for at this point in the draft? I'm looking for somebody that gives me those leadership qualities, and he also has got those Duke connection. Patrick Graham went to Duke himself. A rare 5-year starter and 2-year team captain, and he is a extremely explosive player. We personally have a round 6 grade on him, so if I'm able to get a round 6 guard in round 7, pick 229, I really, really like the value there. Football IQ was outstanding. The nimble feet is something that I like. I will admit my biggest concern is because he wins with power at the college level, what if he can't win with power anymore at the NFL level? It's where he could struggle. His weakness to me, his arm length is very short, especially even for a guard. His lateral quickness, he doesn't move as well as what I would like to be able to see. But as a project player, and if he's able to work on a few of those other things, I'm telling you this right now, if you can get Jacob Monk and he can be a backup left guard, right guard for your team for the next 4 years, think of him as almost somebody like a John Simpson type of player. That's good value in round 7. So one more time here. Here is my Raiders mock draft where I traded up to go get Jayden Daniels. What do you guys think about this one? Give me a grade, A, B, C, D, or F. If you're wondering what picks I traded for Jaden, they're down there on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. If you're wondering what picks I traded for Kyrie Jackson, they are also at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. A, you absolutely love it. B, it's good. C, it's average. D, it's bad. F, it's a big old fat fail. I've done a lot of mock drafts in my time, and I'm telling you this right now, this might be one of my favorite mock drafts I have ever done. I'm going to give myself an A+. You landed your franchise quarterback in Jayden Daniels. You found somebody that can protect his right side in Kingsley Suamaitai at pick 44. You got an outstanding linebacker in Junior Colson. You got another need at wide receiver in Brendan Rice. Then, again, I wanted to be able to get a corner a little bit early, but the fact that Kyrie slid there to pick 122, I said, F them picks. I'm going to move up and go get another need. To me, I was able to address all the needs that the Raiders have and still, in my opinion, get some good value for it. I'll also say, based on this draft, as soon as this draft is over, yeah, you can go sign your UDFAs. I'm picking up the phone, and I'm going to go get myself an Xavier Howard to be able to add to this cornerback room. That is an A+ draft, and A+ for Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco to be making sure that this team is a legit Super Bowl contender. And I believe with this mock draft and the offseason that they had, they would be a legit Super Bowl contender. All right, Chugs, here's your opportunity. How would you grade that mock draft? Be honest with me. And I think the part of it is you can't just be like, oh, I got Jayden Daniels and not worried about the picks down the road. The picks down the road have to be into that consideration. You don't have a first-round pick now in 2025, 2026.
I would probably give it an A.
Okay.
I would give it an A grade. The only thing that I'm worried / concerned about, not worried or concerned, the only thing that makes me a little weary about this mock is the trade up to Jayden Daniels. I think you'll have to give up more. I don't think 3 firsts is enough to go from 13 to 3. I think you're also going to have to pepper in probably your second-round pick, maybe a player.
Maybe.
I don't think 3 firsts by themselves is enough to move from 13 to 3.
Yeah, and I don't really know if I disagree with that statement. I mean, I think the hard part about the mock draft is, this mock on ESPN, they can say no. So originally, the first trade that I offered them was first round pick, 44, and a first round pick, and just to see that got rejected. So then I go, all right, can I get 3 first round picks? And then that one was accepted. So I was like, all right, let's go with it. I don't disagree with you though.
Yeah, I mean it's an A. If that's how it plays out, then it's an A for me.
Yeah,
because you go out and get your starting quarterback, you get a starting offensive lineman, and then you get a starting linebacker, and then you add to the corner depth.
Yeah.
And then you sign Xavier Howard, which I guess I would add that in part of your mock draft, I guess. Going out and signing
there is a part of me that wonders, do the Raiders decide to draft a guy like Talisi Fuanga because they feel like, you know what, maybe we can get an Xavier Howard a little bit later on in the draft. I'll also say, there's a part of me that wonders, do they draft a Terry and Arnold, Quinion Mitchell at 13 because the tackle depth is very good in this class?
Yeah.
Where you're like, you know what, I might not be able to get somebody as good as a Talisi. However, I can still get a potential starting offensive tackle in round 3, round 4. I don't think that's outlandish to say up against Thayer Munford. There are some offensive tackles in this year's draft that could go round 4. Blake Fisher or Thayer Munford, I think is a legit battle.
Yeah.
And if you can make that argument where at corner, corner, right tackle, corner is a bigger need, I would say right now for the Raiders. Because it's you're either going with Ja'Cory Bennett or Brandon Faison. And I don't really think they want to go with Brandon Faison.
Yeah.
We'll see,
Agreed.
though.
We do have some super chats to roll through really quickly, though.
We'll roll through those supers, and then I'll change my jersey, and then we'll get into the final segment here of today's show. Roughneck Raider, Braden Fisk at pick 44. I said it before. I think it is a sleeper pick idea.
Fisk me.
The fact that Crosby mentioned Fisk, and also Latu Latu when he was talking about players.
Crosby would love to get fisked.
Oh, maybe. Oh, Christ, on the interior. So, but I also think it's one of those things where the Raiders have obviously showed you that they are interested in building on that interior, and they already paid Christian Wilkins a lot of money. I don't see Adam Butler returning. I don't see John Jenkins returning. I don't think Byron Young's on our team next season. So do you decide to draft somebody like Fisk to that way say, okay, it's going to be Fisk, Tyree Wilson, Christian Wilkins, Max Crosby?
1 in the Fisk or 2 in the bush?
I'd probably go 2 in the bush.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Abdul. Abdul, thank you so much for supporting the Raiders Report, man. I really appreciate it. Now, man, Seahawks' first-round QB was Dan McGuire in 1991. I don't remember that year very well. Pick 16, Rick Mirror is the only other that they have drafted in round 1 in 1993. Clearly, McGuire nor Mirror worked out. Yeah, clearly. And I'll be real, I don't remember those 2 years all that well. I was on the planet for a total of, 2 months for both of those picks.
I remember Mitch was adamant against those picks.
You're not wrong.
He was crying all night long.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Gaines, go offensive lineman in the first round if we can get Brady. Get Sanders, who is already tied to Brady next season. If this happens, Raiders will make a crap ton of money and a championship. So you want the Raiders to go get Tom Brady. Luckily for you, our next segment is around that idea. Because you'd get Sanders, who's already tied to Brady.
Please tell me Buddy Bear's in the chat.
I'll admit, if you were to ask Antonio Pierce, outside of drafting Jayden Daniels, what makes you the most money this year? If Tom Brady's the Raiders quarterback, that's the answer. I mean, it is. Whether you like to hear that or not, Tom Brady makes the Raiders a lot of money if he's the quarterback of the team. He does. He does.
I know some people.
I don't know if it results in a title, but it results in money.
I know quite a few people that will not be Raider fans anymore if Tom Brady's a Raider.
Yeah. I actually don't think that. I mean, if he's going to be your minority owner.
Would you still be a fan of this team if Tom Brady is the quarterback in 2024? Give me a yes, give me a no. Would you still root on the Raiders if Tom Brady was the quarterback this next season?
Of course you would.
I would think so too, but I think a couple of people would say no.
There's no way. There is no way.
Josh says tuck rule, tuck that. Chad said Brady's lame.
You can say Brady is lame. I'll say this, Brady's not more lame than Josh McDaniels. I mean, if our mantra is just win, baby. And I get it. You can hate Tom Brady all you want. Let's go to the next conversation that you and I were talking about earlier today. Because I said this. I said, if the Raiders won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady, would you forgive the tuck rule? I would imagine that answer is yes. Hell, we were talking about Raider fans getting a TB12 tattoo.
G Money says no.
G
Daniel
Money.
Caps Keenum says no.
I disagree with
I
that.
didn't say a lot of people would, but I said some people would not root on the Raiders anymore if Tom Brady was the quarterback.
I can't believe
IMJ
that.
Davis says no, I wouldn't forgive him. Raider Sancho says F no. Jeremy Cole says no.
You're telling me if Tom Brady won a Super Bowl for the Raiders in 2024, you would not be willing to forgive the tuck rule in 2002? Like, I just find that hard to believe. I would rather win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady in 2024. And you won a Super Bowl.
DeAndre Johnson says
what are we
never.
talking about?
DeAndre Johnson says never.
Yeah, forgive. Don't forget, sure. But why would you not sign up for the Super Bowl? I don't know. I don't get it, I guess.
Raider Rob, thank you for the super chat.
Raider Rob, cheers to you. Adrian, I'm down to go all in. How about all of our picks this year with next year's first and second, or next year's and the next year's first? So you're saying you'd give up all 80 of your picks this year.
And then your first next year.
For Jaden.
Would you?
Oh, man. I mean, that's so much, dude. That's more than 3 firsts. Like, let's get that clear. Like, that's worth way more than 3 first-round picks. I'd want to be able to sit down and do the math, but again, I got to be a man of my word. I would do it. Like, if I believe Jaden is the QB that gets us to a Super Bowl, then my answer is yes. There you go. Yes. Joe.
Gustafesti.
What?
Joe Gustafesti.
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 If Joe Gustafesti bangs, that's going to be...
Joe Gustafesti. Ba-ba-ba-bang.
I almost feel like we got to do it like in the Mario voice. Kent, I don't care if McDaniels is our quarterback as long as we win. Can you imagine Josh McDaniels in his own system? He'd probably struggle. He probably would struggle in his own system. Kent, shout out to you, man. We got another super chat coming in from Eric. After this one, then, I am going to swap out my jersey, and we're going to go into the segment around Brady because obviously we're already talking about it here. We have fans still supporting DC, LOL. How the F would you not cheer for Brady in a Raider jersey? Not a real fan if you aren't cheering for Raider Nation. I'm never going to sit up here and be the guy that's going to determine whether you are or not a Raider fan. However, I do agree with Eric's statement of if for you to root for Derek Carr on the Saints and you're not going to root for Tom Brady in a Raiders jersey, shame on you. Shame on you. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I think he said it best, Eric, especially if he's winning. Now, if he comes to the Raiders and he goes like 2-6, I think that makes the hate even more. I think that double it and give it to the next person with the hate for Tom Brady if he came to the Raiders and didn't win. If Tom Brady came to the Raiders and they were like 6-11, oh, the amount of Brady hate would be oozing around Las Vegas. You wouldn't be able to contain yourself with how much hate Tom Brady would be getting if he came and he sucked. Pause. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, wild. I don't think it happens, but wild. Maybe not last chance, but last chance before the last segment. $5 Super Chat in for our Raiders Report jersey raffle. $20 Venmo, 50-50 raffle, duck race going down. So if you want to get in either of those, we've got about 20 people in for the Raiders Report jersey raffle for the duck race, for the 50-50 duck race. I don't know how many people we have in so far for the duck race.
Right now, it would be a $20 Venmo to win $100. So as it stands, which actually Luis looks like I got to get Luis in. So now it's 20 to win 110.
Lorenzo said I'd root for Putin if he was throwing dimes to Devontae.
Christ. I don't know about that, but I don't know. I mean, it's literally one of those things where it's like
Kim Jong-un is the quarterback of the Raiders.
We'd make a deal around
It's the
it.
nation.
I mean, it's one of those things. You're telling me Raiders game day, right? Christ, I'm also wearing a Will Pfister jersey. You know what I mean? Like, anything's possible.
Oh, my goodness.
Anything's possible. If the Raiders are scoring TDs, I'm a happy dude.
They hate us because they ain't us. What movie is that from?
I don't know.
You've never seen that movie?
Hangover?
No.
The way you said it sounded like...
They hate us because they ain't us. What movie is that from? Do you know? Let me know in the comment section.
You sound like the uncle from Rocket Power. All I see... What movie is it?
Yeah.
I've seen that movie.
Where they're playing basketball on the 7-foot rim and they're just jaying it up. And he's like, why do people hate us? And Kim Jong-un is like, they hate us because they ain't us.
I'm not going to lie. I thought Jeremy was walking towards me. Your guys' lower half is weirdly similar.
Cullen's calves are like, they're like moose calves.
I mean, literally, it's knee to ankle. There's nothing in between.
Dude, I imagine if somebody went low to try to tackle Moose, broken clavicle. Broken clavicle.
The way that he's built like a me character. You know what I mean? It's just head, body, arm, leg.
Oh.
He's kind of built like a me character. We got a few more supers. Yep, Adrian. I don't know if we're gonna bring that one up, but too sensitive right now. Too sensitive. Rick, you sent me a 5. I don't know what that. Oh, Rick sent me a 5. Can you put Rick Hand in for the jersey? He sent it to me on Venmo.
Yes.
Is what it is. If you want in, again, $5 Super Chat or Venmo to get in our Raiders Report jersey raffle, 20 to get in our duck race. However, we're giving away 3 prizes in our Venmo duck race. Winner gets the money. Second place is in our Zoom call. Last place is also in our Zoom call. So if you're entering in our duck race, please send me your email. That way I can send you.
So we can add you to a bunch of mailing lists.
Correct. Will Pfister, you in. Will, you know the deal. I'm not drinking today. Just so you know, I don't drink Monday. I'm not drinking today or tomorrow because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I don't need to be able to look into the future, but I can already tell you that it's going to be wild.
Josh Melton.
Though, if somebody hit the gong, I got to be a man of my word. If somebody made me hit the gong today, then I guess we are. Melton, put me in coach and get some Jaden Daniels. I just saw and get some D, but if we got to get some Jaden Daniels, I'm on board. We got 722 people tuned in right now.
That many. Wow.
We're about 50 likes away from 420. Maybe I got high hopes on that one, but I know we can do it. I know we got high hopes. I wanted to wear this jersey specifically for this next segment because I know I'm going to talk about Tom Brady potentially joining the Raiders, and even though people will probably not click in the video and call me all horrible names, we're going to do it anyway because that's what this show is about sometimes. Having difficult conversations, and I don't mean... I really don't give a shit a lot of times when people come after Chugs and I for making content.
Wait,
because
a mommy Raider and a daddy Raider
Uh-huh.
love each other very much.
And at the end of the day, I want to talk about the Raiders, about all things going on around the silver and black. And if you haven't seen the rumors that Brady is open to the idea of playing for Las Vegas,
The black and silver.
no, then you want to out yourself real quick, that's the way to do it.
Black and gray.
What are your favorite team's colors? Black and gray. You say that and people are like, oh man. That's a bad one. It's a bad one.
I already get trashed because I don't have a Raiders tattoo, so might as well.
I get trashed and I do.
I think that might be worse.
It might be worse. It might be worse.
Oh, God.
And here we go. Let's talk about Tom Brady potentially joining the Raiders because what's the worst that could happen? I gotta know. Give me a yes or no down below in the comments. If Tom Brady wanted to play for the Raiders, should the silver and black sign him? Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to tell you why it makes sense, why it doesn't make sense, and how likely this is to happen. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And if you haven't seen the latest going on around Tom Brady, well, luckily, that's what we're here for. There are multiple speculations and rumors around the quarterback potentially coming out of retirement and returning to the NFL. In a recent, we'll call it podcast, Brady was sitting down getting his hair cut and threw out some teams that he'd be interested in playing for. He said the 49ers, the New England Patriots. He also mentioned the Las Vegas Raiders. So not only did Tom Brady mention the Raiders this weekend, he posted a video of him running without a shirt on. Basically, it was like him showing that he still got it at age 46. The reason why that I find this to be interesting is because, let's face it, you got Tom Brady, who is going to be a part owner of the Raiders, so there's already a little bit of connection there, saying that he's open to the idea of returning to the NFL and points at the Raiders being a team name. If I didn't talk about this, I wouldn't be doing my job correctly as a Raiders Report host. So is Tom Brady going to be returning? Well, I'll say this. Brady didn't say that he's not opposed to the idea of returning for nothing. Like, he said that for a reason. Tom Brady is a planner. TB12 doesn't do anything on accident. And yes, he can sit up here and he can say all these things like he's a humble human being, but he also knows this. His words carry weight. And the fact that he said what he said and then posted a video in a 72-hour span right before the NFL draft tells me that if a team picked up the phone and gave Tom Brady a call and said, hey, do you want to play in the NFL again? I think he's crazy enough to probably say yes, because Brady retired for the second time last offseason. And last year he said, I'm retiring for good. And then fast forward 365 days later, he's thrown out the idea again that he could return at age 46. He's going to be 47 years old on August 3rd. Can you imagine trotting out a 47-year-old quarterback this upcoming season? I mean, it is bananas. But however, though, there's also some of that smoke that has been around Tom Brady before, because I can remember I made a video back in 2022 that I thought was going to break YouTube of Tom Brady might be buying a house in Las Vegas. And it was confirmed by Brady that there was a lot of speculation, even by Dana White from UFC, that Brady was going to go with Rob Gronkowski to Las Vegas back in 2022. So if they were thinking about doing it in 2022, I get it. Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler. What if Mark Davis was like, hey, man, we didn't get the quarterback that we wanted. Let's run it back with Tom Brady. Because one of the things that at this point, what can Tom Brady accomplish? There's a part of me that wonders if Brady's getting a little bit of offended, the fact that people now are saying, is Patrick Mahomes the GOAT, even though Brady is 1-0 against him. But if you want to really cement yourself as the GOAT of all GOATs, and it can't be challenged, if Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with the Raiders without Josh McDaniels, because he already proved that he could win one without Belichick and technically McDaniels before, but going to a city where McDaniels and Ziegler failed the way that he did, Brady's about legacy, and that's a good way to create an even better legacy for TB12. But when I started this show, we started with Chucky heads. Now we do just win babies. So here's your opportunity to tell me, what are the chances? How many just win babies on Tom Brady joining the Las Vegas Raiders? 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, if you're like, Mitch, I don't know the Raider rumor meter. I'm new to the show. Here's what it is. If it's a 0 just win babies means it's not happened. Tuck rule, tuck that. 1 just win baby means small shred of truth. Think 25%. 2, 50%. 3, 75, 4, 100% chance that it is going to happen. So here's the thing. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. You're about to get hit with a YouTube bad break. I want you to scroll on down. Give me your answer. How many just win babies on Tom Brady joining the Las Vegas Raiders? My answer is 0 just win babies. If it happens, shit, I think I got to change it. Tuck rule to something else. I understand that Tom Brady hinted at the idea that he could return to the NFL and that the Las Vegas Raiders are a preferred destination. However, though, I think if he were to return, he's going to go to New England. He's not going to go to the silver and black. Like, why not go to New England where Bill Belichick is no longer there to, again, be able to create even more of a legacy for TB12? The other reason why I'm just so confident that it's not going to happen is because this goes against everything Antonio Pierce has said of what he's looking for in a quarterback. He wants somebody that is not a Band-Aid. I know what Tom Brady is. Tom Brady is a Band-Aid at the quarterback position at this point of his NFL career. On top of that, wants somebody that he can rely on for the next 10 years. I don't see Tom Brady playing until he's 57 years old. I mean, then again, Mike Tyson's about to get into a fight. You never know what's going to happen. AP also wants a quarterback that's mobile. Tom Brady is never and will never be a mobile quarterback, despite the fact that he posted a video of him running with a shirt off. Now, don't get me wrong. I get a little bit of annoyed the fact that I even got to talk about this topic, but I had so many people ask me, Mitch, Brady said he wants to be a Raider. If the Raiders don't end up getting a quarterback, could Tom Brady potentially be an answer for the silver and black? Well, guess what? Luckily for you, we are going to talk about it here on today's show, because if Tom Brady returns to the NFL, I don't see it being with New England. Or I see it being with New England and not the Raiders. Like, I also don't know if it's good to be the quarterback of a team then that you're also about to owe. I'll also say that I don't see Tom Brady coming back to the NFL. He's got a 11-year, like $270 million contract with Fox. And like, sure, he can make some money with the Raiders, but the amount of money that he's going to be passing up to play for the Raiders at age 47, I just can't even wrap my mind around it. But you know what? Let's have some fun here. The NFL draft is still a few days away, and this offseason is going to be one that I hope that we remember for a long time. So coming up, why the Raiders would and wouldn't sign Tom Brady. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why they would and 4 reasons why they wouldn't. I'll get into that, but I got to tell you about our sponsor here, and shout out to Game Time. Last minute tickets, say it with me, lowest price guaranteed. Prices drop sooner, like the event's getting ready to come up. The prices will just go down, and this has been a tactic. This has been something that I've used and looked at when I'm personally trying to buy tickets, whether family's in town. My dad, he's going to be in town at the end of May. We're going to go on the Game Time app. We're going to look at some tickets. Maybe we can go to a Rangers game. Maybe we can go see a Stars game if they're still playing. Bottom line is we're going to look for things to do, and if you're like me and you want to wait until the last minute and get those low prices, Game Time is the app for you. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. All-in prices show your total up front, so you know exactly what you're getting, and it's going to be a great deal. I also love that, it's easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. The last-minute tickets, the flash deals, the zone deals are clutch. And they also have that event cancellation protection, which even if you were to get a ticket and you find out, oh, crap, I can't go now last minute, Game Time's got you covered. Obviously, terms apply. Create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I love Game Time because it helps me create lasting memories with people that I love, and I think that you're going to also be able to save some money. Have a good time. If you're interested in getting started with Game Time, that link's going to be available to y'all down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. All right, coming up here, why the Raiders would and wouldn't sign Tom Brady. I know, we're talking about it, and guess what? Oh, y'all are listening. It's kind of wild at times what we do here on the show, but trending topics, especially when it's Tom Brady, a potential owner of the Raiders, you got to talk about it, right? So here's why it would make sense for the Raiders to sign Tom Brady. The Silver and Black miss on a quarterback in the draft. And when I say they miss on a QB in the draft, that also means that they're also not 100% confident in Gardner Minshew or a guy like Aiden O'Connell. So if you miss on all these QBs and you're like, you know what, Tom Brady still gives us the best chance to win, maybe you go out and try to find an option to go ahead and sign him. What about if Brady signs a cheap deal? Like, I'm not signing TB12 and I'm not paying Gardner Minshew the amount of money that I did if I still got to sign Tom Brady to a $30 million deal. That ain't freaking happening. The only way I'm signing Tom Brady is if he's willing to play for less than $10 million per year. I don't know if that happens. It's just a lot of money invested in Gardner and in Tom Brady. What about this next one? One of the things that Antonio Pierce continues to say is that he wants guys that are like player coaches. That's what Tom Brady is. The Raiders hired Marvin Lewis. They also ended up hiring Joe Philbin, 2 former NFL head coaches, because AP wants more of that experience. If you're not confident in Rich Scangarillo, if you're not confident in Luke Getsy, why not add the greatest quarterback of all time to be that player coach on your offense? If the Raiders view TB12 as an upgrade at QB, like if Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco want to create competition, and if your job is to make sure that that QB room is the best it possibly can be, if I were to ask Telesco and Antonio Pierce who's the best quarterback out of Tom Brady, Aiden O'Connell, and Gardner Minshew, and if both of those guys say, I would trust Tom Brady more than the other two, well, then that's really the biggest reason of why you would even make this happen. So my question, because at the end of the day, this is the question. If Tom Brady is not the answer to this question, this is a big old waste of time. However, though, I think that there are people out there that think Tom Brady is still a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew. Tom Brady is still a better quarterback than Aiden. I also know that there's going to be a lot of people that don't think that. So my answer on who I would pick as a starter, for me personally, if I got to pick a starter in the regular season, I am actually going to go with, at this point, I believe Gardner Minshew would be a better quarterback than Tom Brady in the regular season based on the offense that the Silver and Black are going to run. But I'd be lying to tell you, if you made it to the playoffs, which quarterback would I rather have? Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, or a 47-year-old Tom Brady? I'm going to take that 47-year-old Tom Brady, and I'm going to try to make sure that he's not the reason why we end up losing football games. The final reason is this. If you end up bringing in Brady, let's face it, that means Aiden O'Connell is your quarterback 3. If you bring in TB12, he's your starter, Gardner's your second guy, Aiden's QB3. If I was the Raiders in that situation, I would have Aiden learn behind Tom Brady for a year, and then because he's got some starting experience, he's also learning behind Tom Brady, then that following year, there will be a team that offers you a 6th-round pick, a 7th-round pick on Aiden for the sole purpose that he learned underneath Tom Brady and had some of that starting experience. That would be why you would. Coming up next here is why you wouldn't sign Tom Brady. And again, I think I've made my point pretty clear here. I don't think it makes sense for the Silver and Black to do it. Even if you miss out on a quarterback in the draft, I'd rather you just roll with Gardner. I'd rather you just roll with Aiden O'Connell, use some of that money, allocate it in a little bit of a different way. On top of that, it kind of goes against what you've been trying to build with the Silver and Black. But again, I'll get into why you wouldn't sign Brady. However, though, I do want you to take a screenshot of this. This is when Chugs and I are going to be live this week here on the Raiders Report. Monday, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, Friday, 90 minutes before the NFL draft starts. Then on Saturday, the 27th, we're going to be live an hour before the NFL draft starts. Every pick, all 7 rounds, we're going to get them before you see them on TV. Don't miss it. Here we go. Why the Raiders wouldn't sign Tom Brady. The Raiders drafted a quarterback. If you draft a QB at all, it doesn't make sense to draft. It doesn't make sense to sign Tom Brady. Like, yeah, I'm not really worried about Anthony Brown, but to me, if you're going to use one of your 8 picks to go draft a guy, then you already are pretty confident in your quarterback room. At least, like, that's the group that I'm going to have and go out there and compete. I'll also say I'd be curious to see if it'd be bad for the locker room because, yeah, he's not Josh McDaniels' guy, but he was a part of the Josh McDaniels system at one point. And if you want to try to weed out these Patriots, which that's what Tom Brady is known as, like, is that a bad fit for this locker room? I know the Raiders love Gardner Minshew. I know the Raiders love Aiden O'Connell, those guys in that room. Also, this would be a really bad fit, bad look, I think, for a lot of fans. I mean, I'm doing this show right now. We had multiple fans say that they wouldn't root for the Raiders. Yet some people would still root for Derek Carr. Kind of weird. He isn't an upgrade. I don't think that Tom Brady is an upgrade over Gardner Minshew right now, at this moment. He did not play football last season. The last time I saw TB12 play wasn't all that great. So the fact that we just saw Gardner Minshew do what he just did, I don't think that Tom Brady is an upgrade over Minshew. And then the last thing is this. He does not fit anything of what Antonio Pierce is looking for. And I know I already kind of hit on this one, but he doesn't want a Band-Aid, wants a quarterback for the next 10 years, wants a quarterback that can win with his legs. None of those things are what Tom Brady is. Now, if you made it this far in the show, especially a show on the Raiders Report that talks about Tom Brady, you are the definition of a real one. And I want you to spam real one down below because I know that topic is not an easy topic for the nation to talk about. But in the offseason, I like to be able to have those type of adult conversations because at the end of the day, I like to talk about the Raiders no matter what it is. So all I ask is if you watch the show, hopefully you're able to give me some adult conversations, adult talking points, and don't just freak out and say, oh my God, Mitch is saying Tom Brady to the Raiders. As if you actually watch it, if anything, I said the complete opposite. Do you think that there is at least a one just win baby chance of Brady joining the Raiders?
Can I say a half baby?
Half a baby? A freckle?
Yeah.
A little freck? I mean...
Maybe not a full baby, but like, you know, those conjoined twins that we were talking about? Maybe just like...
That's worse. I think that might be
just
worse.
one of the heads.
I mean, if that's the case, do you have any heads? Are they... I don't know. That's... Frisco says half a baby.
Half a baby.
Let's get Peyton Manning to
What's
the Raiders,
that old story from the Bible where the King Solomon, he comes, there's two women, and they're basically arguing over, they both think this baby is theirs. And he goes, you know what, we're going to split the baby in half and you can each have half of the baby. And one mom's like, okay, I'll do that. And the other mom's like, no, don't do that. Just give her the baby. And then he goes, oh, that's the baby's mom because he's more worried about the baby. Half baby.
I'll tell you what, it's a good lesson. I'm glad that logic still doesn't work out.
Half baby.
That's a very interesting. I'll tell you this, never heard it. Very interesting, though. Very, very interesting.
It's in the Old Testament. King Solomon.
Yeah, I'll be...
Robert says puppy monkey baby.
There's no better transition.
I'm interested to see what Dan has to say because Dan's actually the smartest person in the room. He knows exactly what the Raiders are going to be doing at all points. So
who?
Dan. He's a big smartest guy in the room. So I'd love to see what he has to say.
Let's hear it, Dan. Let's hear it, Dan.
Dan, bless us with your wisdom if you have the time for us peasants to give us your wisdom. I'd love to hear it.
Let me know.
Dan knows exactly what's going on.
Rob Fravor, you, my good sir, are in, which means our duck race, $20 Venmo for a chance to win right now, $130. Sancho. Hooray!
Raiders!
And I'm in. Got to get my other daughters a jersey, real one for life. So we got a Sancho, we got a Michaela. He says, got to get my other daughters a jersey. So that means more than one if the math ends up checking out. Good luck. Good luck to Sancho. The real question is if you win again and then only one person doesn't have one, I guess by this point, I think Michaela's your oldest. You just got to go down. What?
He said Fuanga at 13, so that's
there you go.
100% going to happen.
There you go. I mean, I'd say it's the second most likely thing to happen.
He was a little upset about you talking about Tom Brady to the Raiders.
I mean, that's usually what happens. I knew it was going to happen.
Because Dan said it's not going to happen. So
perfect. I don't think it's going to happen either. Doesn't mean we can't talk about it. Adrian.
No, well, Dan said you can't. So.
I got you. Brady is probably a mini Peter from Family Guy. My only guess is that Peter in an episode plays football and he's unbelievable because nobody can tackle him. However, I think right now if Tom Brady were to run 10 yards and meet Robert Spillane in the middle of the field, he would explode. Imagine Tom Brady, full sprint. Robert Spillane, full sprint.
Have you seen The Boys?
I don't know.
Oh, great TV show. You haven't.
I don't think I have that.
But it's pretty graphic. If you've seen The Boys, first episode of The Boys, you know what I'm talking about.
I actually really wish that I could remember the movies Alex and I watched this weekend. There were some movies. I got to get you the names of them. Alex and I watched like 2 or 3 movies this weekend. They were unbelievable. Though I don't pick out the name, so I only know the movie itself. I'll have to get the name. They were super good, man. All right, final call to get in. So the way that we're doing this today is this. $5 super chat. You have an opportunity to win a Raiders Report jersey. I'm rocking the Will Pfister right now. We're doing the jersey from Ira Jackson. So somebody's going to win that. Then, if you get in a $20 Venmo.
How much to wear this on a date with Alex?
Will Pfister? Yikes. Ah, dude, I don't know. I guess it would depend where we would
And you'd have to wear it Will Pfister on the front. You couldn't wear your jersey normal. It'd have to be Will Pfister on the front. And not like...
I mean, obviously, we can't go to like a nice restaurant. Most restaurants in Dallas probably wouldn't let me in with this. But like, we could go to like a Velvet Taco.
Yeah. Take her out to there. How much?
For me to wear this with... Dude, I actually don't even know if I can give you a price because she legitimately might not go with me.
That's what I was literally thinking. I was like, I don't know if Alex walks out the door.
I don't know. It'd have to be a, hey, babe, I'll meet you at Velvet Taco after work. She immediately turns around and leaves. I'm telling you right now, which if anybody that dates a Mexican woman probably does not surprise you, she takes no bullshit. As soon as she'd see me, dude, that would be bad. It'd be the one time she invites her mom and dad to like lunch with us. Like, we're all just hanging out. That'd be a disaster.
Oh my God.
All right, refresh. I will have an answer for you on that though during the draft. So we're gonna table that conversation. I'll ask Alex legitimately, how much for me to wear this jersey out in public on a dinner?
I think you could get away going to a semi-nice restaurant with that.
What's semi-nice? Like, to me, the peak is like a Mi Cocina.
Yes. Like a Gloria's.
See, Gloria's Mi Cocina, I might have a chance because it's a Raiders jersey.
Yeah.
All right.
Gloria's date, Will Pfister.
Oh, shit. I don't know, man. Dude, Velvet Taco.
I think Ira has it right.
Velvet Taco doesn't sound too much better than Will Pfister. I'll tell you this, though. It's great food, man.
Dude, I had it this weekend.
Oh, really?
On Saturday.
Makes sense.
Dude, we were like, what can we get that's like different? Like different kind of food. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want something normal. And I was like, what about Velvet? Dude, I
It
had
hits.
a chicken and waffle taco where it was like a waffle shell, which honestly, I think it would be better if they did it like it was like a
You're a big fan of
like
that
an
one.
ice cream cone though, because it's still soft.
Uh,
I think if they did it like a hard taco shell,
I'm
I
on
think it
board
would be
for that.
better.
I've had that one before. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I like it, but I think it, like I said, I think it would be better if the shell, it was like a hard taco shell.
See, I like the number 1.
Which is that?
I believe that's the spicy tikka.
Yes, that one's good. So I didn't get that one because I got the chicken
I get
and waffle.
number 8, which is the Korean slow pork.
I was looking at, was that good?
That's my other one that I get. My favorite one's number 12. It's the one where they take the shell, it's already dipped in queso, and they fry it.
Ooh.
Number 12. It's the one to get.
I didn't get, so I got the chicken and waffle taco.
Okay.
I got their new burrito taco, which
Ooh.
was good.
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm a slut for good burrito taco.
I got, me and Danny shared their queso elote,
Yep.
where it's just like,
I love their queso.
but it's half queso, half elote.
Oh.
So they mix in the corn with the queso with the elote toppings on top. It's good.
Dude. Their
And then,
queso's made with like coconut milk.
and then the last taco I got, I like their steak taco,
Okay.
but not the one that you were talking about. I like the one where it comes with mushrooms and fried onions on it.
Maybe I don't.
It's steak, queso, grilled mushrooms, and then fried onions, like onion strings on top.
I don't know if I've had that one.
And then
And then maybe they have a new menu. I haven't been there in a
Pro
while.
Move, whenever I got it, because we ordered it on DoorDash, I cooked a quick fried egg and I put it on top.
Yeah, dude. If you guys are ever in Dallas or around the Velvet Taco area,
If you ever want to
Google
get
it's good.
if you ever want to get down on a velvet taco,
Very, very good. All right,
we have a couple more super chats that just came in.
Okay, we got a few more super chats. Jersey boy, all this Brady talk got me thinking, screw it and dig up Johnny Unitas. Nope. Nope, I'm good on that. Nab man. Chugs, your Raiders being questioned. Only nation on Chat Sports. I don't believe that. Any thoughts on Dan saying so? Instigator 93. I'm going to be honest now, man. I don't know what you're talking about here.
The last thing I see from Dan is Chugs ordered the moose knuckle taco. So,
I mean, imagine if we just like wrapped up Cullen in a blanket. No? That's what I picture as a moose knuckle taco. I don't know. All right, y'all. Jeremy, let's get all the names in. Let's get all the names in for our jersey raffle here, courtesy of Ira Jackson. Fat ass. I got kicked out of the park today for arranging squirrels by height. Guess they didn't like me criticizing.
Critterizing.
Well, it says criticizing. Critterizing. Ah. I mean, imagine if you saw a man putting squirrels in order by height.
I had to do a class in college, and it was bioanthropology.
I'm listening.
We studied campus squirrels.
You
We had to
studied?
We had to walk around campus and
So-
observe squirrels.
Oh, I don't think. Oh no, Marshall's here.
What?
Marshall knows. At UNT, around test time, it's good luck. I think there's one or two of them. Marshall, do you know what roams around campus that everybody says is good luck? Yes, you do. Marshall acts like he didn't go there. Marshall's like, oh, I'm too cool for UNT. It was the white squirrel.
I mean,
Marshall's too cool for us. Sorry.
it happens sometimes. It happens.
If you ask Moose, he'll know.
Yeah. He's a real diehard, though.
We're done. All I'll need you to do is, maybe help Mitch with the Venmo.
Sounds good. So you got to leave me?
Yeah, I have a Passover dinner tonight. I prepared because I didn't know what was gonna happen today. Because I was like, if an IRA happens again today,
Just in case.
I'm a little screwed.
Just in case, I was on standby, so we could
Gotcha.
make things happen.
Yeah.
I got you. I mean, I'm hoping that people just save it for the draft because if we had another shit show today, I didn't eat anything, I'd be in trouble.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
I'm telling you right now, I'd be in trouble.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, Chugs is going to input those names in for our Raiders Report race here. And then I'm going to tell you all right now, this is also going to be our final call for you guys to get in for a chance to win some money. So we're doing a $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. I'll send you the names. All right, I just sent you all the names. So again, winner of the race is going to get $130. Second place, you get added to our Zoom call on Wednesday. And then whoever comes in last place also gets added to our Zoom call for Wednesday. If you're like, Mitch, what time is the call? 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday on Zoom. I just need your email address on top of that. The only emails that I am missing are Aaron and the Great Tuna. So Brandon Jasper, Aaron Winnick, I need your emails. Jeremy, you ready? Winner of this gets a Raiders Report jersey courtesy of Ira Jackson. All I ask is whoever wins. If I don't have your Venmo me $1 at Mitchell Renz 365. That way I can get all the details for the jersey. 3, 2, 1. Good luck to you. Shout out to Ira Jackson for being an absolute legend. What do you mean I got screwed? Really? Damn, brutal. Is what it is. Yoda Jenkins out to the lead. Carousing all day, starting to pull up here a little bit. Texans versus Mexicans had the lead, though Cruisin', a.k.a. Killa, as right now him and Jeremy Cole got the free one. He's got his bear costume on. Eric Castro looks like he's ready to get this thing. Josh McDaniels. Though Jersey Boy did recently win. Patrick B's in an interesting spot. Celtic Raider. Low-key, I actually like that Darth Fatass fell off. Watch out for Darth down here on the bottom. Watch out for Darth down here on the bottom. Navman gonna win. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be Eric Castro for the dub. All right, so whoever came in second place, you are in for the Venmo duck race. So second place was, I don't know, Celtic Raider. So Celtic Raider. Almost. Celtic Raider and Big Luck. So Big Luck and Celtic Raider, I will give you guys until the end of this show. Like, I'd rather you do it right now because I'm going to send out this email like soon as this show's done. Venmo me $1 at Mitchell Renz 365. I just need your email address. Okay? Big Luck, Celtic Raider, Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365, $1. I need your email address. That is all I need. What'd you say? Yep. We're going to, are we all through the supers or no? We still have a few more. Arizona Tim, I got you. Got a super chat rolling in here from you. What do we got? Yeah, we got that one. And then Arizona, or Antonio Valdez. Tell you what, Antonio Valdez looks like another potential bodyguard. I'm just saying, Antonio, I'm just being real with you. You, Miggy Camacho, and I also know that we got UFC Hall of Famer Cub Swanson on our side. I think we're safe. I think we're okay. Let's go to Arizona Tim.
Kansas City, no problem.
Oh, dude, no doubt. I'll tell you what, with having Cub Swanson have your back, that gives me the confidence to say some things I wouldn't usually say. You know what I mean? Like, you got a UFC Hall of Famer in your corner, you're gonna be a little cockier. You're gonna be like, you know what, I can say some things. I wouldn't do it, but you still could. I think Dallas has some of the best barbecue in the world. I've driven from Phoenix to Dallas just to eat at Goldie's in Dallas. Raiders pick a quarterback at 13. So Trace is a big. I'm actually glad Trace is here now with us because he's a big barbecue guy.
I'm gonna weigh in here.
Okay.
I think Goldie's is really good barbecue.
Okay.
I personally think.
Is it better than Pecan Lodge?
Yes. I think it's better than Pecan Lodge.
Is it better than Hutchins?
No. I think Hutchins is the best barbecue in North Texas. But I think the best barbecue in Texas is down near like Austin, San Antonio area. Like Central Texas has some of the like New Braunfels. They have a ton of really good barbecue out there. But Dallas does have good barbecue. I don't think it's the best in Texas though.
Gotcha.
That being said, I do really, really like the idea of a barbecue road trip.
Celtic, you need to Venmo me so I can get your email. Like, Venmo me $1, I'll send it right back to you. I just got to get your email. I don't want you to put your email in the chat.
Good point by Dre. The pit in Austin, it's the Salt Lick. It's in Salt.
I've actually heard about this.
It's a huge pit, and they just smoke the meat on there all day long. You literally are watching them make it all day. It's awesome.
Oh, that sounds phenomenal.
Good. It's so good.
All right, y'all, let's do the final duck race of the show, which means, I don't know. Oh, you know what I did accidentally?
You sent me the wrong one.
No, I sent you the duck race, which honestly, I don't. All right, guys, I'm just going to say this. How are we going to do this? I'm just going to add 2 more people to the mix. So now I get the confusion. So that last duck race, we weren't giving away a spot to get in our Venmo call, and that's kind of the issue here. However, Celtic, Big Luck, I will still say that if you guys want to get in our Zoom call, you got to send me that Venmo. That way I get it.
What up, Texans.
I kind of screwed up a little bit. This next duck race that we're going to do is for the money, and then that's also where we're going to give people the opportunity to get in for second place and for last place. That's on me. Nope. So all you got to do is add the names that I sent you, and you're good. Yep, just that list. All right, so this next one here again, winner ends up getting the money, so $130. Loser, second place, gets in our Zoom call. Also, last place gets in our Zoom call. Okay? So, important to mention there. That's on me. I realized that I made a boo-boo, and I don't want to tell, Celtic or Big Luck that they got in, and then I take that away. So, yeah, that's on me. All right, this one, winner wins $130. Whoever comes in second, Zoom call. Whoever comes in last place, make sure I have your email for the Zoom call as well. Ready? 3, 2, 1, run it. All right, so the blocks here, I'll be real, are always pretty even in terms of where they're running their race. Ultra VAB right now is out to the early lead, followed by, I'd say, Frank down there at the bottom. Ira Jackson's in a very interesting spot as well.
I like where Gilbert's at. I like the slow consistency now. He's saving the energy for the back half of the race.
See, I always say Navman's in a good spot, and Navman finishes in second and third a lot. He's never won a race, though. Never gotten a dub.
Navman rocking the penguin skin. Yeah, Trevor rocking the Spider-Man skin. And Luis is in the duck skin.
Gilbert looks like Pikachu.
I think that is Pikachu.
I think that is Pikachu.
Will's an alien from Toy Story.
Oh, my God.
Adrian is the Flash.
I feel like
go, Adrian, go.
I feel like if Will wins while I'm rocking his jersey, that's pretty incredible.
Sonic.
Trace.
Oh, go.
Trace.
93.
Navman gets the dub. Congratulations to Mr. Navman. Navman, if you could please confirm that you just received $130 below, that would be great. Also, who came in second, Triz?
Justin Gilbert did.
Justin Gilbert, make sure that I have your email on Venmo. And then who came in last place?
Adrian Rodriguez.
Adrian Rodriguez, also make sure that I have your email on Venmo. All right, y'all, that's all the time that we got for you guys today. Appreciate all y'all being patient during that Tom Brady segment. Also, make sure that you guys are ready to party Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're long, long days for us, but there's no other place I'd rather be. Celebrating the NFL draft. Hopefully we get who we want. Friendly reminder that tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be back here on this show, the final live show before the NFL draft, before we are live. So tomorrow, you'll probably get my final mock draft, and it's going to be, I'm going to do this one based on, if I was a betting man, what I think the Raiders are going to do. It is my final mock draft. And then if there's any other news, more updates that come around the Silver and Black, we'll keep you updated. Shout out to Trace for stepping in for Jeremy Chugs. Shout out to Nabman for getting the dub. And then also, if I need your email, please check it so that way I can get all those details. I'm about to send this as soon as today's live show's done. From me, Jeremy Chugs, Trace, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Go Raiders.